use the Mega Medex web app. Now, it's quite easy, very simple. In 5 simple steps, your browser, you check it. When I go out to talk to my table, I'm not hiding anything. When you ask me for product and price this, I say, go to your phone. You will see everything there. It's not hard. So with prices, you see your prices, you select what you want to buy, and then everything, logistics, delivery, leave it to us. And I'll get your
6666. Do we have a winner?
Out, get your phone, analytical, you can place that person in any sphere, and then they will get things going for you. So I would say that with the adoption, I would like to know get your feedback. Our table is at the back. You'll meet myself or any of my team members there. Thank you very much for listening. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Angela. Can we please give her a round of applause again? Thank you for your patience and thank you for that presentation. So I think I'll be one of the recipients of that shopping voucher. That's the power of the microphone. All right, so quickly, we're going to be having New Heights come up for their presentation. But I'm going to call an MTN recharge card right away. So MTN, please. Okay, and we would love that we please try to maintain decorum and listen. Because I will not make this place rowdy. Our people online are all shouting joyfully and, kudos to this program. They're all enjoying it. So thank you those following us online. We're also enjoying it here. Myself, I'm enjoying it because I just got a shopping voucher from Mega Medis. Thank you, Angela. So MTN users, 4613. As New Height come over, 4613 3621 9488 1955 0 Who's the winner? Badu. Do we have a winner? There's no winner. Maybe somebody online has won this one. So let me keep this one. All right, one, and then New Heights, please. If the slide comes up on the start up. Okay, global mobile. 43988. That's Glow users. 29794 66138. Glow users. So who's our winner? Any winner in the house? So New Heights. Say you know me again. The kind way when I feel that day, me I never feel talking again. I'm gonna go do it like this, so I know your friend don't like my beat, but you for don't say this kind thing, baby. Just let me know if you know what I'm doing again. I know go disturb you, I know go scratch you. Just let me know if you know what I'm doing again. I know go disturb you, I know go scratch you, but don't call me back.
Good afternoon, everybody, and my distinguished pharmacists. Standing on existing protocol, my name is Joy Idebanaria, representing New Heights Pharmaceuticals. Please, I will actually need your full attention. I have freebies here for you, for those that can actually answer the questions at the end of the presentation. So these are the NHP pharma portfolio. We have the dispersible, NHP dispersible, suspension, we have the PCM suppository, we have the vitamin C 1000 milligram, vitamin D 10,000 IU, and vitamin D 50,000 IU. But first of all, we're talking about the vitamin D, its importance to the body before I go straight to the product. So vitamin D, what is vitamin D? Vitamin D is actually a fat-soluble vitamin. It's produced when our body is exposed to sunlight, soluble vitamin. It's produced when our body is exposed to sunlight. But the vitamin D produced when our body is exposed to sunlight, it's in the inactive form. There's a conversion that actually takes place in the liver that converts it from the inactive form to the active form, which is the 1,25-dehydroxy vitamin D3. That's cholecalciferol that is therapeutically needed in the body. There are few sources of vitamin D3, like the milk, but for those milk that are fortified. But the ready source of vitamin D is natural sun and the supplements. So that's the reason why I'm going to link it down to my product, because you need the supplement. The conversion is this, but I won't go straight to that because of time. Then is vitamin D3 deficiency possible? Many of us believe that we have abundance of sunlight in Nigeria, and we are living in the tropics. So the question is, can I be deficient? Can I be insufficient? Yes, of course. There are so many factors to that. So what do I define as vitamin D deficiency? It's a serum level that is less than 20 nanogram per ml. So when I take a blood sample and I check and I have anything less than 20 nanogram per ml, it means I am deficient of vitamin D. So there are two key words here. Vitamin D deficiency is a global health issue. About 1 billion are deficient and 50% are insufficient. So mark those two words I mentioned. One is insufficiency and the other one is deficiency. How do I know if I'm deficient or insufficient? So the prevalence of vitamin D deficiency is more in the elderly. You know, like our elderly patients, our mommies and daddies, they usually don't go out because of their age. Maybe only on Sunday, mama wants to go to church, and that's the only day she goes out. So she does not expose herself to sunlight. And I mentioned initially that vitamin D, there's a conversion in the liver. So for mama whose organs are already failing, the kidney is already reducing its function because of age, and the liver, how will this conversion take place? And some of them are already having complications with their liver and kidney. It means that no matter the exposure she has is under the sunlight, there might be little or nothing converted because of the organs that are already failing. So our elderly patients need vitamin D supplement, which is already in the active form. Then also nursing residents, like I mentioned initially, that when people stay more in the house, they stay indoor, they are not exposed to vitamin D in the sun. So for nursing home residents, people who have been bedridden for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, the only source of vitamin D is the supplement. Then we also have the obese patient. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. So the obese patient needs to take higher doses of vitamin D because when it's taken into the body, it binds to the adipose cells and little or nothing is released into systemic circulation. Then the melanin on our skin does not allow for proper absorption of vitamin D, the blood pigmentation. So people of lighter complexion have more access to vitamin D than the dark people. Then a research was carried out in Kano to attest to the fact that, yes, even in Nigeria, we have deficiency and insufficiency. It was carried out from this cattle rearers, the nomads that move from one town to another. They actually stay a lot of time in the sunlight, but because of the clothes we wear, they cover up the whole body, they wear hijab and everything for the female. So sunshade, our caps we wear under the sun, also prevent proper absorption of vitamin D into the body. Then how do I know I have vitamin D deficiency? So right now, initially when COVID was on the increase, vitamin D was very, very much on our shelf and it was selling very well. But right now, COVID is no longer there. So our vitamin D is still lying there. The ones we bought in December, some of us have not sold it. 2 of us. Many of the pharmacists are complaining that, vitamin C sales has dropped. What can we do? Who are the people we need to recommend this to? 1, asthmatic patients. They need vitamin D. Vitamin D has an anti-inflammatory effect to the respiratory tract. So if you get people who have asthma and are always coming down with relapses even after nebulizing or using inhalers, introduce vitamin D into their system. It will boost their immune system. Right now, when I have catarrh, I don't take antihistamine. I take vitamin D, and I'm fine with it. So if you have patients, that's the reason why it was related to COVID, because of the anti-inflammatory effect it has. Then you have patients who have arthritis. Arthritis is also an inflammation. So when you introduce vitamin D into their system, it boosts their immune system, coupled with the medications they are taking. It's just like an adjunct to them, and you see their health improving. Then also back and low back pain. You have patients who have been coming regularly to the pharmacy, complaining of severe back pain, muscle pain, and they've been taking analgesic and pain relief until date. There's no relief. They should go and check for vitamin D level in their blood. Many of them are deficient. The story I'm going to tell you is a life story. It's not because of my presentation. We have someone very close to us in our company. She suffered from backbone pain for more than 3 years. She, at the time, they got tired of visiting Nigerian hospitals. They flew her outside the country. When she got to Dubai, the doctor checked and there was nothing. So the doctor said, okay, madam, have you checked the vitamin D level? She said, we don't know about it because then COVID has not come. We didn't know about vitamin D. When she checked, she was deficient. And a single dosage of vitamin D was what got her back on her feet. She was already bending. So many of our patients are suffering ignorantly without knowing that they have deficiency of vitamin D. So when you introduce this to those who have been complaining about back pain, muscle pain, you will see an improvement. Then also for patients who are actually addicted to sedative, that cannot sleep without sedative, introduce vitamin D to them. The vitamin D actually helps to balance up sleeping pattern. It helps to regulate the dopamine. You know, dopamine is the neurotransmitter that helps to regulate sleep. So when they take in vitamin D, it regulates the dopamine and they sleep well. I have 3 persons who I introduced vitamin D to. And right now they sleep very well. One of them, when she wakes up 12 midnight to use herself, that is the end of the sleep. But lately vitamin D was introduced to her system. Right now she sleeps at any time she wants to sleep. I wake up comfortably 5, 6 a.m. Before 12 a.m., whatever happens at the middle of the night, she will tell you the story. So it helps for those who are having sleeping imbalance. Introduce vitamin D to them also. Then for those that have depression, like I said initially, dopamine also regulates mood and motivation. For those who are having low, they are withdrawn for others, depressed patients, when vitamin D is introduced to their system, there is an improvement because it helps to regulate dopamine, which helps in the mood regulation also. Then for those that are having alopecia, it strengthens the hair follicles. Then it also helps to make the body more sensitive to insulin for those suffering from type 2 diabetics. When you introduce vitamin D to them, it actually helps to regulate insulin pattern in the system. Then for those who have bone loss, like we mentioned about elderly patients, because their bone minerals are already going down, when you introduce vitamin D3 to their system, it helps in the reabsorption of calcium and strengthens their bone. So when Mama was 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, she fell down, nothing happens to her bone, there was no fracture. But right now, 70-year-old mother falls down, she has what? Fracture. What happened? The bone minerals are already reducing. The bone densities are reducing. But when you introduce vitamin D to them, it helps in the reabsorption of calcium, and they are actually fine with it. And many of our ladies use vitamin D today because it helps to reduce acne. It has effect on the sebaceous gland. Yes, it has effect on the sebaceous gland. So what it actually does is that it regulates the sebum, the oil. When there is deficiency of vitamin D, there is what we call dermalipogenesis. But when the vitamin D increases in the body, it regulates it. So the oil that is being produced will be regulated. So it reduces acne also. Then, New Heights Pharmaceutical actually have 2 ranges of vitamin D3. We have the 10,000 IU. We also have the 50,000 IU. So I know the question many of you might be asking in your mind, why this high strength? Good. The Endocrine Society guideline recommend that up to 10,000 IU taken daily is safe. It's not toxic. 10,000 IU daily is safe. Although our 10,000 IU is taken once in a week. And 50,000 IU is taken once in 2 weeks. So it means you just need 2 2 tablets in a month. So the issue of, oh, I miss my dose for those who are actually taking other routine medication is not there. Just once in 2 weeks, 2 tablets in a month. So it actually helps to improve compliance for those that have so many ranges of medication they are taking. And it's marketed by New Height. We are actually sure of it because we know New Height delivers premium products and we don't sell fake products. Many of you know us for that. And also it's manufactured in the UK. It's a foreign product. So let me go straight to the vitamin C, and I know this will interest you because there is a promo on this already. The good thing about vitamin C produced by New Height is that, one, it is time release. Majority of the vitamin C stays in the body for just 6 hours because it's water soluble. When you urinate, you pass it out. But as it's timed release, it stays up to 12 hours in the body. So because the ascorbic acid is released little by little, it is safe for ulcer patients and also diabetic patients for their wound healing, for diabetics. So because the ascorbic acid is not released once compared to the effervescent vitamin C. And also the citrus biflavonoid is 100 milligrams compared to other brands. And it comes in 2 sachets. So if a patient comes into your pharmacy and asks for NH vitamin C, oh, good. Maybe the price is something he or she cannot afford immediately. Because it comes in 2 sachets, you can sell out 1 sachet and the person will come back again to buy the other sachet. So it makes it faster to move from your shelf. So the promo we are actually having right now for vitamin C is that for the community space, we know that majority of you are our influencers. Even if we tell madam, buy NHP vitamin C, if you tell her, madam, it will not sell, she will not buy from us. Is the truth. You are the influencers in the pharmacy space. So we are actually coming up with this promo for you that sell 50 packs of NHP vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams, and get 5,000 naira. The money goes to you, not to the pharmacy, not to the MD of the pharmacy. So there is multiple entry. So if you're able to sell up to 100 in a month, you get 10,000 naira. We are giving the money to you. We are not giving it in form of product. It's cash. It's a cash price to you. Then also that goes to vitamin D3 also. If you're able to sell 50 packs in a month, you also get 5,000 naira. If you're able to sell 100 in a month, you get 10,000 naira. Then let me go straight to the ibuprofen dispersible. Ibuprofen dispersible, that's this product here with me. One good thing about it is that it's the first ibuprofen in dispersible form in Nigeria. It's the first of its kind in Nigeria. So it has a very high onset of action because of its bioavailability. So when we talk about bioavailability, we talk about the absorption rate of a medication. And in the order of bioavailability, we have the solution, we have suspension capsule, and we also have the tablet. So this is dissolved into water and taken in. So when it dissolves, the active ingredient dissolves immediately. So when you take it, you get the effect immediately. The effect is exerted immediately. It does not need to be metabolized in the liver for the active ingredients to be released. It has very fast onset of action. Then it has a duration of 8 hours. It has a very pleasant taste. It has orange taste. So that's the reason why majority of the dental clinics are buying this from us. So it's just like I'm taking juice and I'm getting relief of my pain. That is one of the dental clinics. That is the testimony he gave to us. That the reason why he's selling it in his space is because of the taste, and it actually has good effect. Then it's safe for children. Then we have the NHP suspension, which is also for our children. It has good taste. It also relieves pain in 5 minutes. And it's administered by weight, not by age. Because some children weigh higher than their age. Some weigh lower than their age. So the administration is by weight and not by age. So before I round up, I would want to ask a question. Whoever is able to answer the question will get a gift from me. So from my slide, if you actually went through it when I was speaking, you will see some of the things I spoke about. So I mentioned it should be taken by children from what age? It's on my slide. From what age? From what age? The dispersible.
The ibuprofen dispersible.
Ibuprofen dispersible. From what age?
From what age for children? According to her slide.
According to my slides.
Yes, yes, sir. No, there's a hand first. Yes, sir. 3 months.
No, dispersible. Not suspension.
Okay, there's a lady that raised her hand up here. Okay, you wanted to answer. Okay, maybe the same.
Nobody.
Too. Okay, one more person.
4 years.
You said?
4 years.
4 years? No. Anybody? I will take my gift back.
Okay, there's somebody.
2 years.
2 years.
No.
Okay.
Please, someone should try. I think I'm hearing something very close.
Somebody is saying something here.
Please give.
7.
7 years.
I actually heard the 7 first from here. From here first. Who is the person that said 7 years? Please come for your gifts. This is sold for 2,000 naira. This is 2,000 naira for 20 tablets. So 200 milligram goes to 7 years, and for adults, an adult takes 400 milligrams. So an adult will take 400 milligrams, which is 2 tablets to dissolve in water. A child of 7 years will take 1 tablet to dissolve in water, and it has onset of action of 5 minutes. I mean 5 minutes. Try it out, and you will have a good testimony about it. So thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, New Heights. Can we appreciate her? Thank you so much. So that one is for the child of 7 years. So
please, before I go, if you know you want to go in for this challenge, vitamin C challenge and vitamin D, please, my colleagues are around with their papers. Just indicate the interest. We'll supply your pharmacy the product, and then you keep running with the sales. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, New Heights. Okay, right about now, we're going to be having the keynote citation to be taken by Pharmacists Temitope Ben Adekbe. A round of applause for her as she makes her way up to the stage.
Our keynote address speaker today. Before campaigning will start, I want to say something about it before it comes up. I happened to be at Oluyole 2019, and I was still in pants then. So I needed somebody to talk to about what I'm going to do in pharmacy. And I met somebody, and she said, meet Famshino. And I was like, I was thinking he's one big guy that you meet him, you have to dobale and all. But just met somebody cool, just hi, how are you? And do you know the advice he gave me that year has kept me running? So let's hear a citation now.
Additional Okwanubi, trainer, consultant, and business coach. Additional Okwanubi is the lead consultant of Pharma Alliance, Africa's first retail pharmacy business support network, a group that comprises over 100 retail pharmacy stores with a combined annual turnover of over 7 billion naira. He's a graduate of the Faculty of Pharmacy, University of Lagos, with about 20 years post-qualification experience, spanning consulting, sales, marketing, customer relations with some of the world's leading pharmaceutical companies. He rose through the ranks to become the Customer Relations Manager of Pfizer Specialties Limited, with responsibilities for Nigeria, Ghana, and the entire East African region. He voluntarily retired in 2013 to set up his own consulting firm. Additional is a thoroughbred business development coach, and he's the convener of Nigeria's premier retail pharmacy business summit, tagged The Panel. He's a recipient of the prestigious Pfizer Global Innovation Award, which was presented in New York in 2011. Apart from Pharma Alliance and The Panel, he has pioneered a number of technology-driven initiatives in the Nigerian pharma industry, and these include RX Evolution, the pioneer online job placement portal in the pharmacy industry, Pharmacademy, a pharma industry-focused learning platform, PSN-MCPD, an online platform for administering the continuing education program of the PCN, and Pharmacy Map, the most comprehensive geospatial map of the pharmacies in Nigeria. In January 2021, his organization launched Pharma Gateway, a payments gateway for collection of pharmacy dues across all the technical and interest groups of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. He's a high-energy enthusiast and passionate speaker, and his message is anchored on vision, integrity, and passion. Please join me as I welcome, please, a round, like a standing ovation, please, because after listening to all these qualities, we need to give a standing ovation for pharmacy.
Thank you, please. Don't mind her, just sit down. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Don't worry, those of you in the WOW booth, just be listening. What you are doing is also important. All right. I thank you for the opportunity for bringing me, here to speak to you. My name, first of all, introduction. My name is Adesina Okpanubi. Don't believe everything they told you. I'm just one of you, a YP. Am I correct? I'm YP, right? I don't understand. I'm OP. All right, okay, so I'll be sharing with you my thoughts around the theme of today. And I'll appreciate it if it's going to be engaging back and forth speaking. And so I went to the University of Lagos. Anyone here? All right, good. I went to the University of Lagos. I left Idiara about 2002. Okay. I'm just trying to be sure that we're all together. Okay, so after I finished in 2002, we had this, there was this gap we had before induction. So I spent that time with JK Pharmacy. After JK, I did my internship in Luth. After the 1 year in Luth, I was posted to Imo State. Anybody from Imo State here? Oh, good, yeah. Is anybody by mistake from Owerri West local government? All right, so I served in Owerri West local government, but when I was going to the east, because I was active in PANS, I was secretary of PANS, and I was involved in hustling. Is that a better mic? I was involved in hustling for PANS. I spoke to one of the companies that was supporting us then, Kakaki Chemists. And even though I didn't know where I was going, I said, let me take your products with me to the east to market. And he gave me the rights. And for the 1 year, while I was in my place of primary assignments, in the evening I was hustling between Imo, Rivers, and Abia States, hustling. And I think I made some tidy cash there. After that, I came back to Lagos, got a job with Pfizer as a sales rep. I started from Ibadan. And after about 2 years plus, I was promoted to become the first medical education and customer relations manager for Pfizer with oversight about 8 countries. And while I was there, one of the things we came up with, I'm sharing the story so that you can know the journey so far and then probably find a place for yourself, in the journey. There was something we conceptualized. It's called the Customer Care Boot Camp. It was a training for counter assistants. And so after I did that for a number of years, by the time I had done about 8 years in Pfizer, I took an early retirement and I started my own organization, which is Shine Consulting. And with that organization, we started with counterattack, the same thing that I was doing with the organization. So it's important what you do where you work. And I tell people for your organization as if it belonged to you. Because the moment you mistake working for your company as working for someone else, you should change yourself. But when you work in a place and you know that you are working for yourself, just in contract with another organization, you get to put yourself into it. And that way, when I left the organization and I started my own training programs, it was easy for me to know what to do. And then after that, we gave birth to Farm Alliance and then a few other projects. So what are the other things I started after I left? I started the panel while I was in Pfizer. Because today the panel is 13 years old. But I left Pfizer 8 years ago. That means I had been doing the panel for 5 years before I left Pfizer. However, I was not doing it on Pfizer's time. I was doing it during my leave. And what does that mean? That means for those 5 years, I didn't have a life. After I worked, the 1 month I was supposed to go and rest, I used it to host the panel. And then after I left from panel 6, the conference ended because now I had time to focus on it. In the process, we started Farm Alliance. So immediately I left employment, the same year I started Farm Alliance. And what is Farm Alliance? Farm Alliance is just community pharmacy owners coming together to talk about business. And today we have about 200 stores, branches in the network. Not businesses, 200 branches in the network with a turnover of more than 10 billion naira in the businesses. How many of us know RX Evolution? Oh, good, yeah. So sometime down the line, I saw another need in the industry. When we were out, not today, there was no social media when we came out. So if you need a job, you go to, where's that your office again?
Of Mind Medicine. You're welcome, sir. Please.
Round of applause for our wonderful panelists.
Okay.
Also with us on the panel section will be Pharmacist Uzo Amatoku.
She's the Regulatory Affairs Head, Sanofi Advantage Nigeria. She gave us a beautiful lecture the last time we
met at the Sanofi presentation.
Yes.
Round of applause for her, please. As we are eating, let's also clap. Finally, the last but not the least, Pharmacist Omowumi E. Oga, the CEO, EXC Pharmacy. Round of applause for her as she makes her way up to the stage. Do we have anyone joining us, any panelists joining us virtually? I think not. Okay. The moderator of the panel section, okay, that is Pharmacist Taiwo. Please, a round of applause for her as she also makes her way up stage too.
Fam Taiwo in the house.
Fam Taiwo in the house. Make some noise.
Okay, thank you very much, Cindy. Thank you, KC. I will not be moderating this panel session alone. I will be co-moderating the panel session with pharmacist Temitope Ben Ajepe. All right. Thank you very, very much. You all are very welcome to today's panel session. Okay, and I believe that we are all aware of the theme of today's opening ceremony, the new normal, emerging roles for young pharmacists. We are currently joined virtually by Famezile Owu-Ekwe, the vaccine program coordinator of Africa CDC, is unavoidably absent, and she's joining us virtually. And we look forward to having a very interesting discussion on the theme. Thank you very much for making our time to share your thoughts with us today. Please give a round of applause to our panelists. All right. Tammy?
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Or is it morning now? Good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank our panelists especially for joining us. I know that we started late, But once again, I apologize. Thank you so much for taking time from your busy schedule to join us today. So I would like, without further ado, I would like to just dive into the meat of it. Can you tell us, starting with the gentleman, because this is a heavily female panel, can you just tell us what your thoughts are on the theme of this program?
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Moraki Adijare. I'm a pharmacist, like I believe most of us here are. And today we're talking about it's emerging roles, correct, for young pharmacists. There's a lot that can be said, but I would just like to draw attention to the other trends outside of the practice itself. The world as we know it today has changed significantly, and it will be it will be to our own detriment if we're not paying attention to the changes in the trends as well. And I'm guessing we'll touch on that a lot today, and how those trends, are impacting what the possibilities around work currently, as well as the future of work is, both within and outside of the profession. I think there are a lot of possibilities within the space, but I'll take us off track a little bit to also talk about the possibilities outside of the space and how your profession as pharmacists really gives you, thank you, sort of gives you the perfect launch pad, to explore beyond what the current possibilities within your profession are. So I'll leave it at that for now, and hopefully we get to touch on more things as we proceed.
All right. Fam Uzo.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me. I've had a very exciting time. I've been smiling from ear to ear. I think the topic is on point. I really want to congratulate the ESCO and the people who made a choice of the topic, because, it's so important that you know the opportunities that you have. Coming out of school, you're fresh, you're a young professional. Sometimes it's possible for you to be too narrow-minded. You don't know the possibilities that you have. As pharmacists, I agree with my colleague, your training is like a launch pad. You can do anything. I don't see any reason why someone like Cindy can't pursue public relations. I don't see any reason why. It's very clear that she's so passionate about it, So, you're unlike some other medical professions, you're not so restricted. You do everything. You get a bit of everything. You get a bit of the business. You get a bit of science. You get a bit of regulation. So, there are possibilities and you can do anything. So, really, this kind of forum is very eye-opening, and I think it's something you should leverage on. It's something you should listen to. And hopefully, I know that you will leave here with more clarity. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Omoumi Emmanuel Oga. First and foremost, I want to commend the organization of this program. I was talking to Shina Okpanubi a few minutes ago, and we were really surprised that young pharmacists could do something like this. And I heard about the national conference. Really, a round of applause for all of you. So speaking to the topic, emerging roles for pharmacists, for young pharmacists, that topic is very important, right? I was discussing with pharmacist Morakinyo, saying the pharmacy profession, if we're not careful, could be a curse. So it's a blessing and it's a curse. Why? Many times we say we are pharmacists and we stay restricted, but there's a world of possibilities beyond the pharmacy profession. So your profession as a pharmacist gives you the platform, and then you can now step back and look at different industries and ask, what can we do as pharmacists? If you look at it, many industries have been disrupted. You have the retail industry has already been disrupted, the hotel industry, e-commerce has been disrupted. And so that tells you that very soon we should expect disruption in health. Now, as pharmacists, how can we lead that? And so that's what we should be looking at as young pharmacists. What can we do to change the status quo? What can we do to improve on what's already on ground? So I think I'll stop there for now.
Well said. Thank you very much. Please give her a round of applause. Thank you very much, ma'am. Indeed, there is a world of possibilities with pharmacy. I would like to hear from pharmacist Ezine Onwuekwe, who is joining us virtually. Pharm Ezine.
Can you hear me? Good evening. Hello?
Hello. All right, ma'am. We can hear you. You can go ahead. All right, while we hope that she joins us fully, we would now like to hear from our panelists. You all are undoubtedly blazing trails in your various fields: community pharmacy, public, global health, regulatory pharmacy, tech. Many young pharmacists who look up to you would like to know what took you from where you were many years ago to where you currently are. And if you would be kind enough to share a bit of your story, we would appreciate that.
Okay. So I have been practicing for about 13 years, I believe. So how did I get into retail? I call it retail pharmacy. I started so during internship IT, I had my stint in the hospital and then youth service, and I knew that was it for me. So I usually like challenging things, and so that stint was okay for me. I had had enough of the hospital experience. Now, during my youth service, I served in Lafayette, and I looked at the pharmacies around, and for some reason, I knew that wasn't it. I felt pharmacy could be better than that. And every time I was opportune to travel out of the country, while others are going to look at different tourist attractions or going shopping, I was busy looking at the different pharmacy stores there. And it was quite funny because I'll look at it and I'll take down my notes. Now, after that, I was opportune to work with GlaxoSmithKline, and I was in the vaccines department. I enjoyed my work there because it was an opportunity to do something different, something as a vaccine rep. I wasn't just going to see doctors and pharmacists, which is what the usual medical rep would do. Then we were going to see, we're going to schools, we're going to churches, we're having corporate meetings with organizations. So you're going to MTN, you're going to Airtel. And it showed there was a world of possibility. So that was quite an interesting phase for me. But I always struggled while at GSK. There's something we call PDP in GSK, and that's called your Performance Development Plan. And it was basically, how do you want to move from where you are to where you want to be? And I always struggled with that because I knew, I'm enjoying my work, but that's not what I want to do. But if you ask me that same question about my personal ambition, you would see I had a big plan on what I wanted to do in the retail industry. And so last year, I decided to take a career break. And then I decided to face retail. And we started. It was quite interesting. We had one branch, moved to 2 branches, and currently we have 4 branches with about 2 more opening at the end of the year.
Amazing.
Thank you. So I guess it's just the passion, trying to do things differently, and of course, learning from those who have blazed the trail ahead of us. So that's basically it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Could you pass the mic to Pharm Uzo? Pharm Uzo, regulatory pharmacy is something that many young pharmacists aspire to. But seeing you doing beautifully at the zenith of it is something we'd like to hear about. Please share your story with us.
I didn't start out in regulatory affairs. It was basically adventure and an opportunity. Okay, so I started off as a medical sales rep with Meyer & Baker. And when Meyer & Baker was a franchisee for Aventis in Nigeria then. But then mergers and acquisitions, it became Sanofi Aventis, and they wanted to come into Nigeria and set up an office. And we're given the opportunity to stay with me and Baker or move over to Sanofi. I decided I wanted to move over because all the products I knew, they were going to be moving over, and I was too loyal to my products. The Amaryl, Tritase, I was wondering, Tavanic, I wondered, what was I going to be doing without those products, basically? So I decided to move over to Sanofi. So we started with sales. I got tired of being in sales, actually, and I wanted to move over to something more settled. So it was like an opportunity. And I volunteered. So I volunteered when it was a very small office. When my country manager needed someone to do some work, carry this, carry that, I would do it. So immediately there was an opportunity for a marketing assistant, someone supporting the product managers that were offshore, and they said, who could do it? He said, why not her? So you see the importance of being available, the importance of going the extra mile. I'm just saying, going through a story. So I became marketing assistant. Going forward, a time came, there was the affiliate wanted to expand. They wanted additional roles like supply chain. I hope somebody is listening because these are opportunities for you. Supply chain is an opportunity for pharmacists. We have pharmacists in supply chain, and it's wonderful. At this time of disrupting the new normal, in this time of the new normal, supply chain is, if you're able to solve problems, supply chain is really a good place for you because, you need to support the business. You need to get them the products they need in the shortest lead time, and, you will be celebrated. So I was given the opportunity of moving over to supply chain and regulatory. So I took the challenge. I said, okay, so I'll move over to supply chain regulatory, and I did. After a while, the affiliate was expanding further, and they said, we would like someone to concentrate either on, we want separate departments, supply chain, regulatory. And I decided, okay, regulatory it's good. An opportunity to, like, regulatory starts the process, for every organization. If you don't register the products, they cannot sell the products. They come back to you at every time. So you're like a springboard for them. And I said, okay, I will go into regulatory affairs. And with that exposure, I was able to know more about how products come about. Know more. I've handled functions like quality. I've done things like anti-counterfeit coordination. This is where I spoke with you. I've worked with biosimilars. It's basically are you open to opportunities? Are you open to adventure? Not everybody can be open. I know not everyone is as adventurous, as some of us are. There's people that are a bit more adventurous. But don't close doors to yourself. Don't say to yourself, okay, I've come into sales and my manager is trying to open my eyes to somewhere else and I'm saying no. If I hadn't taken the challenges, and the risk I had taken, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have seen me that day talking about anti-counterfeit coordinator. It's actually extra work for me. Anti-counterfeit coordination is not, many times I'm not being evaluated on it, but I believe, it's something I should do. It's something I should carry my passion into, and that's where I'm doing it. So it's very important that you listen. We are here right now. Some people are having some side chats. Don't mind me, I'm picking on you like I always pick on Cindy. Yeah, but you should listen. You should be open to your opportunities, and you should take risks. You should jump. You should go the extra mile. You should stretch. That's very, very important. And, as you stretch, there will be more clarity. There will be more opportunities. There will be more open doors. You won't even be the one needing to open doors for yourself. Your managers will open doors. Your colleagues will open doors. You never know what would happen. It's really limitless.
Beautiful. Thank you so, so much, Ma. Morakinyo wants to tell us about his own stretch.
So, firstly, I appreciate the stories. I appreciate the fact that they seem quite structured or that there was some sense of direction. I didn't have that. If I was to summarize my story, I would say, firstly, embracing uncertainty, an appetite for risk, you mentioned, delayed gratification as well, and yeah, I think I'll leave it at those three for now. So, and serendipity, interestingly. So I was privileged to have a roommate in my final year who, had similar interests to me for just hitting our heads on the wall, trying to solve interesting problems, right? So we started out and tried to explore building a product in our final year. It was myself and 5 other classmates, so 6 of us, for an electronic health record system. Now, at the time, this wasn't something that was popular in this part of the world, and it was simply born out of a desire to, do something else. I had done locum pharmacy for a while, and it was clear to me that I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. Now, this is not to say, or this is not to take away from the profession. It's very important that I make that very clear today. But it just became more obvious to me that I was tired of doing things the normal way, which is why we then started to explore building out things. Now, why I say an appetite for risk is because over the 2-3 years we tried building things, we failed woefully. This were 3 years of not working like most of our other colleagues who were already making a lot of money, or at least a lot of money at the time, right? So it was then taking that leap to then start to explore more. Okay, if this didn't work, what else could work? What's more interesting that we could try out? And eventually we stumbled on something that did work, which was the e-commerce platform we built at first. And I've been privileged enough to, move on to working on other things. Interestingly, that's not what I do now, but it was the perfect environment for me to discover myself further, that beyond the profession, there are more sides to me. So I love this, I love that. And, while building products, I then discovered that, I have an appetite for actually building or designing software solutions. And I've been doing that for the past almost 5 years now. And I'm glad I took that path. Delayed gratification because it wasn't rewarding at the outset, but we stuck with it. And I can say there are great upsides to it now. So I guess what I'm just trying to say here is we are still young, right? Young pharmacists. This is the perfect time to take those risks that, you will not be able to take when you are 40. And chances are that you will regret more the things you didn't try out, more than the things you actually tried out and probably even failed at, than things you bothered not to explore at all. There are so many sides to everyone here. I mean, in my sets, I'm glad Ajibade is here. We had people who started to sing. People would go out to perform songs. People would go out to draw stuff. At the time, it didn't make sense, but now it does, right? So I guess I'll just leave it on the note to, explore the other sides of you. Pay attention to, the emerging trends and try to stretch yourself beyond what just the profession requires of you. Yeah.
Well said. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So I really like what Olga said about her traveling outside of the country and always taking the time to understudy what practice was like outside. And then coming closer home to what you said as well, that we don't have to restrict ourselves. That we are pharmacists doesn't mean we can't stretch. So I want to know, in your journey, what are the technologies? I know you're very invested in tech. What are the technologies you have leveraged on? And for the purpose of the audience, what technologies have you leveraged on? And looking back in retrospect, what do you think people sitting here today can capitalize on? Because our systems are very unstructured. I like what you said, your journey was very unstructured. We don't have the infrastructure that is available outside. So what are those technologies we can leverage on and then leapfrog to stabilize our own systems in our own unique context?
Okay, so pardon me, but I would like to rephrase your question and then answer it some other way. I wouldn't place as much emphasis on the technologies you can leverage because that is constantly changing, right? There are 1,001 ways to do whatever it is you want to do right now. I guess the priority should be more on systems and processes, right? So you identify a problem and then you try to understand what is and what could be. From a point of view of this doesn't work or this could work better, and how can we then improve on that? trust me, once you have clarity on what it is you want to build or what it is you want to improve on, the right way or the most efficient way to execute on it will jump out at you. The reason is because even in the event that you want to build a solution or you want to build a new technology, you're not going to build it all alone. Firstly, you're going to put together a team with different skills, and from within that team, you then start to get insights on how best to go about it, right? In my journey, I have done things in e-commerce, I have done things in enterprise systems, and in doing that, I figured, or now I understand better, that the technology is not really what's the most important thing. It's actually understanding the problem and then figuring out a way to, create a solution in a way that, firstly, who you're creating it for loves it enough to constantly use it or pay for it. In some cases, not pay for it, but, give you that data that is relevant to you. And then over time, you're better able to monetize that. So yeah, more emphasis on just paying attention more to problems, figuring out what the best, most efficient ways to resolve those are. And yeah, the technologies will always be at your beck and call, however much it changes over the years.
All right, thank you very much, Morakinyo. I see that pharmacist Ezine is set. Pharmacist, please let us hear you. We'd like to know, of course, you are working with the almighty Africa CDC, and many people who are interested in public health, global health, would want to rise to that level. Could you briefly share with us what your story is like? I know you had experience in community pharmacy, yes, and then you were able to grow into the international development space, international health. We would like to hear what has helped you thus far to be able to transit successfully from the conventional to the relatively unconventional for the average Nigerian pharmacist.
All right, good afternoon. Can you hear me well?
We can hear you a bit. If you could speak more audibly, that would be great.
Hi, can you hear me better now?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Please go on. All right. Apologies on behalf of Amazing. I guess it's the network. Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah. We had a discussion. It went well. I don't know quite what you're doing right now. So sincere apologies for all of that. So my name is Gbagada. I'm a pharmacist trained pharmacist at the University of Nigeria. And yes, yesterday we did the I did that at help pharmacy, and I was lucky enough during my YC to work for an NGO to run the RX for my company. I think that's where I do how to life. It was a job that was way bigger. And I really could do my part for something that something that somebody with experience of about 5 years ago slightly. But the thing is, I tried to make decisions. I thought it, I put my best. I made sure that opportunity I had, I did the best of it. And it was first that job that I got. 2 years ago, I got a job in I just started university, and I think because of the experience I gained while 7, and I think I've put that I didn't focus on something from every my life, not because so I have to study more for that, and then for so that was how I came to apply and get a job. And for people who want to get into it's a difficult space to get into, especially international. What I think is, are you ready for it? As a student, what is working? Are you ready? Until you have mentorship help. Not that they're going to get a job, but they're going to help you position yourself better to be able to apply yourself that would make you attractive. So that's what I'm going to say briefly about that.
Thank you very, very much. One thing I picked from all that you shared is networking. Not that it will get you the job, but it will strategically position you on the path to the job of your dreams. Thank you so much. I would like to ask Fam Uzo, regulatory practice. I remember that I used to be interested in regulatory pharmacy. But on looking at how it actually plays out in Nigeria, NAFDAC, for example, I wasn't exactly excited anymore because it didn't play to my vision of my interest of the unconventional. And I think it is the case for many young pharmacists, especially those who do not want to be boxed in a corner. So I'd like to ask you, what excites you about regulatory pharmacy? And what emerging areas can young pharmacists begin to look at in the space of regulatory and administrative pharmacy?
Thank you very much. I can understand, if you're not someone who is excited about routine, regulatory affairs may not be, something you'll be looking at. Okay, for me, for me, what has kept me in regulatory is the fact that the company I work for is continuously evolving. There's never a dull moment, it's always this or that, and a wild portfolio, so many changes that you have to manage, so many times you need to negotiate with health authority, to get, one thing or the other from them. So that's what has kept me, I work in Sanofi, it's a multinational, and there's so many things. We have vaccines, we have biologicals, there are, drug products. So it's vast. What we do is vast and is immense. And we are given the opportunity within Sanofi, to explore aspects that we are not in. For instance, if I'm in regulatory, I can decide to do something out of regulatory. But one thing I want to say is don't box yourself into any corner. I don't box myself in. I'm in regulatory affairs, but I never box myself in. You've seen it from my varied experience. Sales, marketing, supply chain, it has all helped me in regulatory affairs. I'm a go-to person. I'm a problem solver. So that's one of the reasons why I'm in regulatory. In regulatory affairs, you are a problem solver. Everyone comes to you. You have to have good analytical skills. You have to have good oral and communication skills. You have to be able to grasp concepts very fast, assimilate scientific data, evaluate scientific data. So those kind of things have kept me in there. Attention to detail is very, very is something that is very critical if you want to be in regulatory affairs. So how do I fight off the boredom? Because sometimes it becomes very, very routine. I solve problems. I look for problems to solve. I'm the kind of person that I don't sit still. If you would watch me there, I kept on getting up. I'm always looking for something to do. So I look at one product and say, Mario, why is it this way? Why are they changing the pack? What is the consequence for your market? I'm the one probing. I'm the one looking for marketing. What do you think the implication of this for? Why don't you fight it? So, that's the kind of thing that has kept me in regulatory affairs. The fact that I have enough energy, I have enough passion to put it into what I'm doing. Do you understand? So when you come into regulatory affairs, it doesn't mean you have to stay in regulatory affairs.
Thank you.
So when you come in, don't box yourself in. There was something that came into my mind, and I want to say it now. There are so many free resources in this generation. Don't dull yourself. Google has 1,001 free resources. Which one are you doing? Coursera has so many courses that you can do for free. Which one have you done? They are all quiet. So I just want to say, because I may not have the opportunity to say anything else, so you need to push yourself, beyond the norm. So what has kept me regulatory affairs that I keep pushing myself. You never see me be sitting and be bored. You understand? That's why I've been able to last. I'm pushing myself. I'm talking to the GM. I'm talking to communication. I'm talking to public affairs. Very soon I'll be doing something in vaccines. I'll be going into like a shadowing. I'm going to be shadowing somebody in public affairs. So don't sit still, and don't say you don't have the opportunities. You have the opportunities. You can stretch. You can do more. You can take those courses Google is offering. You can take those courses Coursera is offering. You can take those courses Udemy is offering. There are so many. For me, it's amazing. So many free resources. When I open my computer, I'm not as young as you are. And I just wonder if I was as young as you are, the possibilities that I have. You can evolve. So don't say, okay, regulatory is routine. If you want to get into regulatory, get into regulatory. If you get tired of it, get out of it. There's no reason. Nothing is boxing you in. If you want to get into sales, get into it. When you get tired of it, get out of it. If you want marketing, get into it. When you get tired, get out of it. So nothing is boxing you in. You have the opportunity and you need to explore. That's what I can say. Okay.
So from Olga, this question is directed at you. So looking at the work you have done, especially in the beauty space and with vaccines, and centering on the fact that it's retail, like you put it so nicely, what can you share with us as young pharmacists as regarding pharmaceutical care? And I just want you to speak, talk on the pain points now, like trying to venture into pretty much something that pharmacists don't necessarily do in our own neck of the woods. So maybe someone out there who is more interested in mental health, someone else who is interested in drug information services. What are those core components of pharmaceutical care that you have encountered on your journey and how we can maneuver?
Thank you. First off, when Bukola asked me to be on this panel, I asked, are you sure I'm the right person? Because I felt I had just forayed into this aspect of pharmacy, and I felt there were more, people who had more of an experience in this. However, one thing I have seen with my short stint in community is the average person out there is hungry for information. They really want to know what is wrong with them, but more importantly is they want to know, how do I avoid this? One of the things I have encouraged my team to do is, we're not in the business of selling drugs. We're not in the business of making money. Of course, we need to make that money. But we're more in the business of supporting our people to live healthier. And how do we do this? Right? Let's give them that information. Sit that person down and provide more than the person needs, more information than the person needs. Equip the person with the right... with everything he needs to make the right decision. One thing I would tell many of us here is preventive health is an aspect of pharmacy, medicine that many people are not doing so much about. And of course, COVID has given us the right platform to look into this. And COVID is one. We will have many more diseases that will come out there. We had Ebola and we saw how people cringed and were wondering, what do we do? COVID came and it's an opportunity. Who knows what the next one will be? So in your sphere, yes, we have mental health, we have the chronic ailments. But one of the things I've seen people ask is, how do we prevent this? What do we do? How can I protect my child? How can I protect my parents there? So I think an aspect for those of us in retail, be that person that your clients will come in and say, I want to see pharmacist this, I want to see pharmacist that. And why? He will sit me down and educate me. He tells me the information I need to make the right decision. I have a young pharmacist working with me. His name is Femi. I don't know if he's watching this. Many times at our OPIC branch, people come in and think he owns the place. And you see people come in and say, we want to see pharmacist Femi. We want to see pharmacist Femi. And so I engaged him. Femi, why do you do this, right? Why do people always want to meet with you? And he says many times when people come and they want to buy a drug, he would first tell them, I'm not selling this drug to you first. And I'm wondering, okay, if you're not selling this drug, how do I pay your salary, right? But what he does is he sits down and then he takes them on a journey. He wants to know, what's your history? What's your drug history? What's your disease history? He wants to collect them and get that patient's profile. And then he's looking at the drug and then he's advising the patient. So because it's coming from a point of information, that patient is able to trust what he's saying. And really in community, you need your patients need to trust you. I think that answers the question. All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, supply chain. There was a lot of craze around supply chain. And tech seems to be the new oil, right? Okay. How can we, I know that we are saying that people should still try as much as possible not to follow the craze, because the craze may not be for everyone. However, we know that tech affects every sphere of life, particularly healthcare. How can young pharmacists begin to utilize trends, especially in advancing universal healthcare coverage? I would like to ask you, because your area is the new oil.
All right. Interesting question. So yes, supply chain, universal health coverage. One thing is common, fragmented systems. And because of how fragmented the systems are, there are quite a number of inefficiencies. Now, with inefficiencies come opportunities to, do interesting things that optimize whatever value chain there is, with supply chain being the emphasis here. Now, to do that, firstly, I feel there is domain knowledge that is required, firstly, in understanding how supply chains work, with a focus on whatever industry it is that you are, focused on. So that'll be the first step. The next step would then be in understanding why those problems are there, who is benefiting from the inefficiencies, what other systems are there to circumvent or, to solve whatever issue there are with those inefficiencies. The last leg would then be, I guess, the technology you're interested in hearing about. And there are quite a number of ways to go around that. I don't have expertise with supply chain, but I'm guessing the technologies you would also use to resolve the issues in that chain they're not going to come from heaven. It's something that exists already. And I'm sure quite a number of us here have heard the word or the phrase, data is the new oil. Data is the new oil. There is a plethora of data that we are generating from literally every system we have today. And our supply chains are not outside of that system, right? So it takes being deliberate then in being able to figure out, okay, what's possible based on historical data that has been gathered over the years, what works, what doesn't work, and how can you then process that data into, reasonable insights on how best to then resolve whatever issues there are with whatever chain it is you've identified. And yeah, so that's one way to go. I guess machine learning can also help in that regard. But you see, universal health coverage is way broader than just the supply chain. And if we delve into that today, I don't think we'll be able to finish. But yeah, I'll just leave it at the basis of, understanding firstly where the inefficiencies are, getting a level of domain knowledge on whatever supply chain it is you have a focus on, and then, trying to do your own research on how best to optimize or, circumvent existing systems to achieve whatever result it is you're looking for.
Well said. Thank you very much, Marakinyo. Okay, so I'll go back to Fam Ezine. I should mention that Fam Ezine is speaking with us from Ethiopia, thanks to her work with the Africa CDC. Thank you very much for making our time to join us, despite your busy schedules. So I'd like to ask Fam Ezine, seeing that her work is in the field of infectious diseases. Yeah, you made mention of Ebola, and now there is COVID. And many times we speak about focusing on preventive health because it's one major way to advance healthcare for all. And you are doing a good job, Fam Omomi Oga, in the area of vaccination in your pharmacy. And Pharmacist is also working with an international agency in that light. And I know that many young pharmacists also look forward to working in that space of infectious diseases. So I'd like to ask Pharmacist how more pharmacists can plug themselves in that space. Oh, okay. I see she's offline. So any of us could respond then. I'd like to ask how more young pharmacists... Okay, she's back. Great. I'd like to ask how more pharmacists can plug themselves in that space. Because when we look at infectious diseases, maybe other healthcare professionals might find it easier to slot themselves into that area. Say doctors, microbiologists, pharmacists. Many of us do not exactly find it easy to get there. So I'd like to hear from you, Fam 18A, and of course, Fam Amaomi Oga. Thank you.
So what I want to say first is thank you, Dr. I think we go to school, we study all these things, and somehow we in our heads we think we can't apply them. So we come out being a bit timid. I would like to say so because there are very many opportunities pharmacists leverage on that we do not leverage on. Because I don't see why you have a conversation around vaccination and pharmacists are not there. You have a conversation around EMR and pharmacists are not there. It's a pity, and it's not because we are not given a seat at the table. Sometimes it's that we are too afraid to actually even join the conversation. So I think it starts with us knowing that this is our thing. You have the capacity, you have the intent to do this. So don't shy away from any opportunity you have. At the primary healthcare centers, in the hospitals where you work, at the community pharmacies where you work, you have someone who's doing that in the community pharmacy. What are you doing about vaccination? The thing is, where you are, apply yourself the best you can. So when bigger opportunities come, then you have the experience, then you have the expertise, then you can say, I've done this before in a small scale and I can do it in a bigger scale. So I'll just say, please, let's not be afraid to really get into that space. We call doctors bullies, but I don't think they're bullies. I think they just, proudly own the space. So you also should be able to proudly own the space because it's also meant for them. So that's what I can say. Apply yourself where you are. Be bold enough to take the steps. Be bold enough to put up that initiative to your boss. Be bold enough to say, I should be part of this initiative because I have it. So that's what I can say about that.
To do is gain the knowledge, look for that knowledge. When I joined the vaccines team, I had just 2 days of training in vaccines. And I remember then, so we had, I think it was a week-long training then in GSK, but no, just 1 day. 1 day, we used 1 day to learn about vaccines. But I knew because I had an interest in this, I had to learn more. And so oh my goodness, I was going through a lot of material. I was going through the internet. I was going through, you have a wealth of knowledge on the CDC site, UNICEF, WHO. And I remember then, we could do this then, I was always adjusting my presentation slides. And during meetings, when I make a presentation, that's during the GSK in-house meeting, my marketing manager will come and say, Wumi, where did you get that slide from? I'll be like, I adjusted it, I researched something and I adjusted it, right? Of course, that was wrong, and I was stopped, but that was because I was looking for this knowledge everywhere. And as pharmacists, guess what? Nobody owns the space in infectious disease. Nobody. No, doctors don't own that space, nurses don't own that space, right? We are all healthcare professionals. And pharmacists are the most accessible healthcare professionals. But you need to know what you're talking about. So you start from gaining that knowledge. Right, find out, look at data, look at the trends, and more importantly, own your space as a pharmacist. Now, when these people come to you, you also want to direct them. You want to be able to tell them what to do. As pharmacists, beyond having the ability, beyond having this knowledge, for vaccines, you actually are supposed to store vaccines. You are equipped, right, with the knowledge and with the right infrastructure, right, to store vaccines in the appropriate temperature. And then guess what? You can create awareness. Many times when I talk to different people, I remember then when I was talking to doctors and nurses, I realized we really did not know. Many of us did not know about anything, right? So sometimes you pretend you know, but we really didn't know. When the news about the mosquito vaccine, the Mosquirix came out, I'm sure I received over 20 calls. And I had left vaccines about 6 years ago. I received over 20 calls about that vaccine. What's the dose? Does it work? Has GSK brought it in? And I'm like, no, this vaccine was just launched, right? Nothing has been, it's not in Nigeria. But that means people are hungry for information and they are looking for where to get that information from. So what I would tell every young pharmacist here is equip yourself with the knowledge. Now, once you equip yourself with that knowledge, go out there and let the world know you know these things. We have people who are doing a lot on social media. I'm sure we know about the noisy pediatrician, we know about Aproco doctor, and then there's this other guy. And these are people who are using the knowledge they have to inform the public. So why is the pharmacist not doing something? I'm not sure if we have pharmacists doing that. Oh, we do. Oh, fantastic. Oh, fantastic. Right? So we need to do more of that, right? Carve a niche for yourself. Carve a niche for yourself and then go out there and let the world know that you know this thing. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We do have a number of pharmacists who are utilizing social media for health promotion. I know we have Farm Radio, we have Health Talks with Lyo, and a number of other, we even have Savvy Pharmacists. Yes. So we have a number of pharmacists who are exploring and utilizing social media for health promotion. Thank you so much for that, ma'am. Temitope has a question for you.
All right, Famuzo, here's a question I've been dying to ask, and it's targeted right at you because you sit in the regulatory space. Not to go anyone's ox or anything, we know how regulatory affairs in Nigeria can be quite in the dinosaur age. And like you rightfully said, tech is moving at such a neck-breaking speed. So how do you keep up? Because we're charging all these young people to go out and do what you need to do, get the knowledge. But then you come out, you're equipped, and then you now meet the regulators who sit at the apex, and it's like they're slowing you down. So this question is two-pronged, actually. How can the pharmacist here mitigate that, or how can they maneuver that? And then how can we, that I don't know if Taiwo was talking about when she said she doesn't want to be regulatory, because I'm very interested in the regulatory space. How can we now, do more for the people coming ahead? Because there's a lot to be done, and it's like the regulators are not keeping up. They're really not.
Thank you so much. There's really so much to be done. There's a huge gap. But you see, it has evolved. NAFDAC has evolved, I can tell you. NAFDAC has become more conscious that they have to meet up with the international way of doing things. There's no way they can sit, there's no way a regulatory body right now can survive without meeting up to international standards. And they've been going through audits. With the new DG of NAFDAC, there's a lot of audits going on. WHO is auditing. They are putting in place a lot of quality management system. So it's not how it used to be. And the new DG is very, very interested in how do you put it? push as much as they can, and sometimes they will say, I don't feel your problem is too much, are you the only one?
Look at notice board. Now say, oh, Alpha Pharmacists, you now write down the phone number, now go. And because those who wanted to give the jobs were offline, and then those who wanted the jobs were online, we became the bridge. And we started by posting on Facebook. After a while, when Facebook showed me 1 or 2 times, we migrated to a website and all that. And thanks to your vibrant national chairman, we have birthed another platform, which I'll be sharing with you very soon. And then down the line, another project came. How many of us know Moxie? Oh, good. Okay, how many of us sell Moxie? It's not just knowing, selling. Good. So how did Moxie come about? There was an issue in the system. NAFDAC was clamping down on retail pharmacies for selling Calpol, imported products. And there was an engagement session. And we asked ourselves, what exactly is the problem? Is it that Nigeria cannot produce a world standard product? And we went back, picked a few global brands, and said, what do they have that we don't have? And we reworked it, and we created those brands. That's why you see that ours is the only one that has a CRC card. Normally, when you buy your paracetamol, you use knife, Abi, to cut and, syringe those in. We said, what do the global brands have that we can do? And so that's what gave birth to Moxie. Why is Moxie? Some of you say, hey, so this is the guy behind Moxie. I must have hammered. No, we have not yet hammered. We are still chiseling. The hammer is coming. But why is it expensive? The raw materials for Moxie are sourced from Europe. So they are premium raw materials. And so it's important because our promise is to give you what the world brands give you. And in the next few months, we plan to scale up into about 6 more SKUs, which we are sure you'll support us with. Then we have some publications in the market. I'll be fast. Then last year, when COVID hit, we had to hit back. Because COVID now made sure, we're into training, capacity building and all that. So the moment COVID came, that means there were no trainings. That means some people are going to go hungry. And I said, it won't be me. And so we launched the virtual platform for training in the industry. And we've been running trainings ever since. And then this year, we launched Pharma Gateway. How many of us pay dues? How many of us pay YPG dues? And how many of us use the Pharma Gateway platform? All right, good, some of us. So and why did we do that? We found out that as a young lady pharmacist who is registering a premises, you will probably have to pay about 8 to 9 dues into 8 or 9 bank accounts. And the headache of that alone, we know the money is a headache. Let's make sure it's the only headache, not going from bank to bank or in and out of bank apps. And we created that platform where you just create your profile, you are told how much you need to pay, one payment, and everybody gets their money. And that's what Pharma Gateway has been doing, and we're glad that the feedback has been amazing. And then it's been said we have PSN digital solutions that we run. And then in between all the things I've mentioned, I call some businesses Sarewa business. They are not sustainable. It's just chop and go, You can't build a future on it. And so we've done a little bit of those in the past. Forget this suit. I've sold cows before. I know you are shocked. I didn't tell that part of my life. If I told you, you would like me. So I've sold cows when I was a rep in Ibadan. I've sold cows. I've done indemnity insurance for ACP. We did that for a number of years. How many of us have been in pharmacies where there are some TV screens that have health education messages that we did that, and all that. So those are things we've done, and then you've seen our videos here and there. Coming soon, part of what we have in the offing, it's been said that there's a geospatial map we are building. What that means is there's a map of all pharmacies in Nigeria, just like you have Google Maps, but this one is only pharmacies. And so we know where the pharmacies are and all that. We are driving that, and we are going to commercialize very soon. A number of us want to get overalls. When we're in school, we didn't mind, just go buy lab coats and all that. But the older you get and you want proper lab coats, those types you see in the magazines and all that, you can't find them. I've been pushing people for the past 6 years to produce that solution. Nobody has. So we have decided to go ahead and do it. So in the next few months, you'll be seeing a new online platform, smartcoats.com, that have trendy lab coats, name tags, everything you have to make you look the way you want to look in the pharmacy. And then what I said is coming. A collaborative effort between us and YPG is about to be birthed. And that is farmerjobs.ng. So we are gradually phasing out RX Evolution and we are replacing it with Farmer Jobs. And that platform is already, if you go online, it's there already. The jobs are there already. What are we doing? For the job owners, we are going to be offering free job postings up to the end of the year. But for you, the young pharmacist, once you sign up to this platform to get the job alerts, which will be a benefit, we'll be giving you weekly giveaways once we roll out data giveaways. You know the way we roll these things. And then one of the things YPG insisted on is that there are issues between employers and employees. And so there'll be on that website, you can lodge a complaint to say, and then it will be reviewed by the internal mechanisms of YPG against employers and all that. Not name calling, not call outs, but proper documented things. I also work with ACPN to make sure things work properly. And then, of course, there's a blog there, career tips and all those things. And what do you need to do? Just sign up today and then you'll be glad you did. Farmerjobs.ng is the portal. And it's when you sign up that you get the giveaways. Anyway. Okay, I want to appreciate an organization before I launch into my presentation. How many of us know Pharmacy Plus? Okay, you know, okay, maybe you don't know Pharmacy. How many of us know Reload? More hands go up, good. Now, I want to appreciate Pharmacy Plus because if there's an organization, one, and if there's a CEO who loves young pharmacists like crazy, it is Pharmacy Plus. And the CEO of Pharmacists is in the room. Sir, I know you are hiding. Can you please stand up for recognition? It's at the back there. If you put with the mask on, you think it's a YP. You know? Why am I saying that? He's seated there. Why am I saying that? When Yimika ambushed me, okay, thank you. Okay, now he's standing up. Yeah, thank you, sir. When Yimika ambushed me for the YPG national program, he willingly, not only did he sponsor the Abuja program, he also sponsored a YPG delegation of about 20-something to the panel of this year. Apart from that, he sponsored the employer-employee session of that event. And that's just to show his commitment to the YPG. Now, for today's event, when Yimika handed me over to Bukola, he was the one I went back to. Even though it was very tight, he still supported the conference. And after he did what he was going to do, he said, you know what, you guys deserve some extras. And that's why you have the WOW booth behind there, also paid for by Pharmacy Plus. Let's appreciate Pharmacy Plus, please. That's a business deeply committed to young pharmacists. And I just want us to, in exchange, support the business of Pharmacy Plus. Those are their brands there, Alphabetic, Reload. How many of us know White House apple cider vinegar? You may not know, that's also from Pharmacy Plus. Menorites is a product that's being pushed aggressively now for menopause in women. You want to drive that. And then in the foods area, Oatsville, those canisters of oats is also from Pharmacy Plus. Now let's get into the meat of the matter. I was going to ask this, but the time is fast spent. I will just give you what I brought for you, because I was going to ask, what do you want to hear? Because it's possible that I prepare something that doesn't make sense to you. But you have to manage it like that, because the time is fast spent. And the question I'm asking is this. Are we graduating pharmacists for the past, the present, or the future? What training did you get in pharmacy school? Did it give you the requisite experience to navigate the times you are in? And there's something I always like to tell young pharmacists. I've been at this talks thing for a while. After your B Farm and Farm D, sometimes you want to ask yourself, are there really opportunities out there? I was discussing with the CEO of Pharmacy Plus before I came up. The number of pharmacy schools are increasing every day. Now that's good for the industry, because that means supply is increasing. But no matter how many we produce, there's something I'm very sure of. As a pharmacist, you will always get a job. You will always get a job. The only problem you will have is a problem of choice. I don't want to rep. Nah. I want to, production. You do production small. I want to go and do community. I'm sure you know, if you have siblings, they don't have it so nice. I'm sure you know. Now, interestingly, you guys even now have a minimum wage kind of thing that your siblings cannot even attempt. They say, just, she used to go, let's even see work. Yes, how much? 120, no, 150, it's sounding 200. Yeah, now you're talking. It's okay. So you need to understand the space you are working in. And because we do RX Evolution, we do a lot with jobs. And so there's this story of this 24-year-old young pharmacist that went to a multinational. And he had actually done well. And they asked him, so how much would you like to earn? The guy said, sir, fresh from NYSU, 300,000 naira, sir. Is that all? The guy said, well, a retailer, multinational, an official car, yeah, we'll give you that. With a driver, of course, we'll give you a driver. Accommodation allowance outside the 300, then vacation. They said, well, actually, that's in the package. We are also going to give you education for your 4 children up to university level. The guy said, wow. And then also, for your wife, we'll be giving free delivery anywhere in the country. The guy started to say, Oga, na joke. The guy said, now you start them. So, the issue is this. There's a dilemma between what the young pharmacist wants and what the employer has to offer. And so, the challenge is between your sense of worth and the organization's sense of value. What does that mean? Your own sense of worth is the value you place on what you are bringing to the table. While the organization's sense of value is their perception of the worth of what you think you are bringing to the table. Unless there's a convergence, there'll be fight. And so the question always begets, which one comes first, the egg or the chicken? Is it, Oga, pay me and see what I can do? Or do, then I will pay you? Now the matter will see the judge now. And so, when taking a job, it's not about whether a place can afford to pay you. No. It's whether they can afford to fire you. I've gone for an interview before. They were going to pay me like 3 times what I was earning then as a manager in Pfizer. I know it's a telecoms company, but they're a very notorious telecoms company. And after they gave me the job, I said, okay, I'm not coming. They say, you're too proud. I said, this is my career. It's me that will say whether I'm coming or not. And the question I want to ask you is, what you are doing today, is it what you were born to do or what you are paid to do? Unless you do what you are born to do, you struggle. And so because they said I should speak about the new normal, I welcome you to the new normal. And there's a difference between the old way of doing things and the new way of doing things. And I'll just try and put it in perspective and so that we can move. And these are my personal views. I say here that when you take a critical look at the way things are going now, it looks like not much has changed. It seems that we are back to the old ways, but COVID seems to have thrown a lot of opportunities up in its path. What do I mean? You know, COVID, one thing the COVID pandemic did was to put fear in us. And apart from the fear, it allowed our brains to enter reset mode. And so, but after that, we're like, if children go to school, they may not come down, but they are carriers of the virus. When they go home to the parents, story. Maybe they'll be going and coming, and what happened? So the children are back in school. Church is back, full to capacity. Parties and shows, full swing. Maybe we are here now. Buses and bus stops, full to capacity. Political rallies are back. So technically, we are back to pre-COVID. However, it seems that as COVID has dealt with us, it has also left a lot of opportunities for us, which is what I want to leverage now. All the problems that were there before COVID are still there. But then it has given us an opportunity to think about our reality. Let me talk about medical tourism. The medical tourism industry is assessed to be a $1 billion industry. You know what that means? In Nigeria, in the current day, that's 500 and something billion naira. Now, please note, that is not the problem of the government. What do I mean? It's not the problem of primary health care center. People who go for medical tourism are those who have chopped belefu. Am I making sense? Those that go to India, go to US, go to wherever they go for treatment. That is a failure of the private sector, not of government. And if you know how much money has been pumped into the healthcare space, the fear of fear will catch you. Which is why I'm saying, you know what? If you want to go, go. Those who are remaining, if their sense is correct, they will hammer in this land. Now, if major investments are coming into the healthcare space, there's a hospital on the island, Urake, owned by CFAO. Even Lagoon, they all do it. If you want to do a surgery, if you want London doctor to come, you pay a separate amount from the Lutz doctor. They will fly him in. What is medicine? Diagnosis, equipment, medicines, right? The labs are skilled, Mercure, Africa Global, and the rest of them. You have world-class labs now. Now you have world-class hospitals. Equipments are on ground. We are about to turn the corner. And that's one thing I want us to all understand. E-commerce, the advent of COVID made people more open to e-commerce. Even though it's not yet a very profitable sector, if you know the metrics, but then it still represents the future. Fintech, we all know it. Oh, Paystack, what's their name? What's this other? Flutterwave and the rest of them. Serie A funding, $1 million. Yeah, it's real. That is the reality of the times we are in. And that's what I think is confusing. And I know that guy was my junior in school. Now they say they got $2 million. Your head charged up 557 times. Hey, don't hammer. Health tech, edutech, digital content, and then there are now many more jackpot opportunities. So if you want to go, please go. We are not begging you. Now, so right now, countries are actively hustling. Saudi Arabia, Canada, UK, everybody is saying you should come. Feel free to go. But for me, all I see in the new normal is amazing opportunities. What do you see? I know it's jackpot opportunities, yes. So, please choose one. I'm going to show you some images now. Just choose one. Do you want this one? This one, call? That one, call? This one, call? This one, call? You don't even know the name of the flag. You say, yes. Just take me out of this country. So let's look at Nigeria. What are the features of Nigeria? Number one, insecurity. Am I correct? Poverty. Am I correct? Harsh economic climate. How many of us do business you run a business in Nigeria? If you run business, you understand what I'm talking about. Poor health outcomes. We have the highest maternal and infant mortality, Am I? Poor working conditions in all areas of practice. Poor funding for the health sector. In fact, these are more than enough reasons for you to want to japa. That's why I'm not angry with you. Go. And there's something I usually say that offends some people. I don't know whether I should say it here. You guys are laughing. Have I told you? Now, when I say you should go, I'm advising especially the very smart and intelligent ones. Because the opportunities out there for you are many. Go. If you need sponsorship, I can sponsor you. Yes. Leave me with the rest. Because if you, the intelligent ones, are here with me, we'll be struggling to see the same thing. You'll be seeing the money I'm seeing. But if you go, leave me with the blind ones. Don't worry. I can manage them. And so, what are the prospects of the average young pharmacist? If you're in retail, the average wage bill is like 120K or so with crazy work hours. Abi? Then there's R&G by the side. There's patent medicine by the side. But there's a very interesting... Is Peter still here? Okay, Peter is there, yes. You know, you have had some very wonderful national chairperson, Peter, Hansen, all of them. When they are YPG, they say, yes, you should pay your pharmacy ad. Now they have started their own business. And how can they come? Are you paying what you said they should be paying? You say, oh God, it's not like that. We are just starting. I say, oh, you are just starting. And so those are the hard truths that we need to face. And we have a chaotic practice environment. What if you are in the hospital? You are in one cubicle dispensing somewhere. There are hardly pharmacists in private hospitals. You and doctors are only fighting half the time. The institution doesn't recognize you. A hard life. Industry. There's limited manufacturing going on. You are import dependent, driven by the Asians. We don't have a lot of brands in the market. What we have are products. Everybody's just producing what every other person is producing. They say, okay, fine, your own is this. What does it contain? They move in straight. No differentiation. No improvement. Pharmacist rep, non-pharmacist rep, all sorts of things. So, another name for Nigerian pharmacy can be called what? Problem. Do you agree? We have issues in the Nigerian pharma industry. Okay, let me start from Nigeria. Do you have problems in Nigeria? Plenty problems. Do you have problems in pharmacy? Plenty problems. So this supports your ambition to run away, right? Good. Yeah, on point. So a number of you have seen this before. If you've heard me speak, this is my gospel. This is what I preach. This is what I live. And so you keep hearing it again and again until the gospel sinks. I call it the problem theory. And so we're going to talk about the problem. So let me ask you, how many of you here have problems? So what's today? One person agrees he has problem. The rest of us, we are very spiritual. It's not my portion in Jesus' name. I know. Now, how many of you love problems? The same issue. Why can I love something that is bad? Brother, warn yourself. Now, this is money. How many of us like money? Not everybody. Can you see? So let's take a count again. How many of us like money? In fact, let me know how spiritual you are. How many of us love money? Even though I say the love of money, you still love it. It's okay. Now, let me tell you something. Everywhere clean money is made, emphasis on clean. Everywhere clean money is made, it is always in response to the creation of value. Do we agree? So whenever you see Davido making money, whenever you see Tauma making money, whenever you see what's the name of the young pharmacist, Jide Francis making money, it is always in response to value created. Whenever you see yourself being paid a salary, it is in response to value being created. So let's move one step further. What creates value? The development of a solution. So once you create a solution and the person who you created it for likes it and says it has value, then you make money. Do you understand so far? So what do you create a solution for? I can't hear you. Say it in English. Okay, problems. So if you have a problem and you create a solution and deliver value, you make money, right? But remember what you said 2 minutes ago. You don't like problems. That means if you don't like problems, you won't like solutions. If you don't like solutions, you won't like value. If you don't like value, you won't make money. Does that add up? That is why most of us don't have money. That is why a number of us will not have money. It's not a curse. It's not a swearing sometimes. I'm not swearing for anybody. I'm only telling you science. Unless you have a great love and passion for problems, you will not make money. Do you think Dangote likes the look of rice or look of salt? Or the guy has seen a problem. You guys are hungry. And so he has created a solution. He has bought rice and this, and then you pay him. Why do you think he's building a refinery? He likes the color of petrol? No. You guys have been saying oil, refinery, no problem. There's a problem, oil, Abi. I will create a solution, refinery. Will you buy? Yes, that's value. Please note that the moment Dangote refinery comes up, every day you buy fuel, you are paying him money straight into his pocket. Think about that 2 times. So ask yourself, what can I solve that people will be paying me for? So it's easy for you to look at Nigeria, see bad road, dirty gutter, complain. Hey, sock away is full, complain. Somebody is sitting to say, how do I pack this shit and then charge them for packing this thing and then I make money? Pharmacy is this, complain. Somebody is looking and saying, how can I make progress? So what's the problem? Here it says that it's a matter or situation regarded as unwelcome or harmful, and it needs to be dealt with or overcome. So let me run. So this is what the principle says. The bigger the problem, the bigger the reward. Am I correct? That is why, how many of us know Zytiga? You don't know Zytiga? Okay. Which expensive drug do you know? This, no, leaves are right too. This COVID drug. Is it expensive, Abi? Thank you. The reason why it is more expensive than paracetamol is because paracetamol solves a small problem. That one solves what? A big problem. If they say paracetamol is now 10,000 naira per tablet, you say leave it. I will drink water. I'll go and sleep. When I wake up, the headache will go. Am I right? But when you need whatever that thing is called, you need it. Because it's solving a big problem, it commands a bigger reward. Every time solution is found to a problem, value is created. And when value is created, wealth is given as a reward. Every time wealth is created, maintained, and sustained over generations, we call it prosperity. That's why we want to go to Canada and the rest of them, because they've been able to create constant value and wealth. If the problem can stand in front of your solution, then value is not created, then poverty is the outcome. A country with abundant problems, with no one solving it, has what? Abundance of poverty. Does that look like a country you know? Okay, it looks like you're even sitting inside one. Now, a poor country is one that has abundance of people that command little or no value. Let me flip it on its head. A poor industry is one that has an abundance of people commanding little or no value. The reason why you are complaining about patent medicine stores is because you are not delivering value. Am I making sense? The reason why you are complaining about doctors is because you are not adding value. It's the hard truth. Let's say it as this. Are you still here or you have left? Good. So the moment you create value, money will come. To break the hold of poverty, we need a burst of solution providers. A wealthy country is one with abundance of people commanding superior value. Now let me poke you harder. What is your current exchange rate? You say? What is, I didn't say the exchange rate, your exchange rate. $1 million, Abi, they are paying you. Show me your last invoice. So, there are 8,760 hours in a year. How do you spend your minutes? A work year has about 2,700 work hours. How much is your hour worth? How many of us have an idea of how much we earn per hour? You know. Oh, 450 per hour, better. So I say if you earn 110,000 naira, my brother, every one hour, they are issuing you 500 naira. So by the time you collect the one for the day, they just don't pay you per hour. At the end of the month, they'll gather everything and then they pay you. Now, please do not be angry with your employer. That is their sense of value of what you have to put on the table. And usually when I do trainings for people, I tell them, can you vex and just say, hello, sir, I'm not coming tomorrow. I'm resigning. Will your guy say, please, no, don't go. I'll say, I've been thinking of how to sack you. You have made my life easier. Unless you are adding value, nobody wants to hold you. And so I say that your hourly worth depends on the value of the product. Now, a number of us, you will nearly stone me if I say money is not important. How many of you agree that money is not important? I know. But that's what I say, and that's what I believe. It's hard. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but that's the way. So let me tell you, most of us chase money, which is a physical thing. But the spirit behind it is what we don't have. And I'll explain it to you now. Because whether we like it or not, we need to understand that the concept of money is going. Am I making sense? What you now know as fiscal money is going. Now you use cards to pay. Now you do other things online. Now you're talking crypto. Money is going. The more you chase the paper, the less you have. So let me explain it this way. Let's go back to the beginning. And where is that? The Garden of Eden. When our forefathers and our foremothers offended God and they were chased out of the garden. And then one became a hunter, one became a gatherer. And they became two economies. And so the guy that was planting yam wanted to eat fish. But he was not a fisherman. So he had to exchange yam for fish. That makes sense? But the day he wants to eat meat, but then there's no meat and there's only fish, he will need to give much more of his yam unless the guy who wants fish wanted yam. I mean, it's getting confusing, right? That's how confusing it was then. When they say, you know what, let us create something that we will use to represent the value of what we bring to the market. And so there was chaos in the market, and then they created money. What you have on the screen is far from you, but let me explain it this way. How many of us are Yoruba? Have you heard of Ponkon before? Yeah. Ponkon. Now, if you ask some of us heard Pon, we don't know what it means. Pon is the Yoruba translation for pound. Pon, that what you see on that screen is Ponkon. You will notice that when they say Ponkon, it's twice the Naira value. It tells you that back then, it was ratio 1 to 2. Am I making sense? But that's not the message for today. What you have on the screen has a fine print, which you may not be able to. Let me read it out. It says, Federal Republic of Nigeria, promise to pay on demand the sum of £1. I felt that because, Nigerians were colonized, we didn't know how to write English. Because if I'm holding £1 and you say, when you bring this, I'll give you £1, you are confused. So, look, that's Mama Charlie, right? Now, Mama Charlie, the one that wrote the English language. The same thing she's saying, Bank of England, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £10. The person that wrote English cannot be wrong. What does it mean? It means that when you present this note, I will give you goods and services worth £10. Am I making sense? And that value shifts. How many of us have the privilege of holding on to foreign currency in the last 1 year? Dollars or pounds? How many of us? Should I release the prophetic saying? I should speak it. If you had, stay with me. If you had $100 in your suit pocket January last year, is it the same value in Naira as at today? Is it the same note? Is it the same value? Does that tell you something that note is not the money? Are you beginning to get where I'm going? It is the value of what you have to offer that matters. Can you see it? Can you see what's on the screen? What's that? You say cold. Did you drink it? Coke, right? 50 cl. The question is simple. How much is it? 150. This bottle of Coke is 150. Any other price? 150. Okay, good. Consensus, YPG Lagos, 150. If they give you at 200, thief, in this Buhari economy, you are selling Coke 200 naira. But how much do they sell it in ShopRite? Less than 150, Abi. But you said it's 150. How much is it in traffic? Is it 200 or 150? Or it depends on the traffic. For pharmacies that sell drinks, how much is it? 150. In TFC and Sweet Sensation, the same bottle of Coke. Oh, 500 for Mr. Biggs. 300, 250. But you said it's 150 now. What that means is that when you get to Mr. Biggs, can I have meat pie, scotch egg, donut, and no drink, no door. You now go out, Coke. Come here. How much is it in Marriott Hotel? Okay, let me not use Marriott. Let me use Sheraton. How much? Or you don't drink it. You don't say Coke, it's not healthy. Now let me draw this analogy. You see, if at the end of today's program I succeed in damaging your mindset, I'd have done my job. Do you know sometimes there's traffic on Mobolaji Bank anyway? Do you know? Ikeja. Do you know that if you buy Coke in that traffic, you buy it for how much? How much? 200. Those who buy Coke are telling you, bros, now 2, no be 150, now 200. Okay, good. But if you drop at the gate and you buy it, is how much? No, at the gate of Sheraton, you never enter though. 150, 200, Abi. You now walk 100 meters inside and sit down, and you want to buy the same bottle of Coke. How much is it? Eh? You're healthy living, okay. But if I buy for you, you drink. It's called the power of brand association. The Sheraton aura increases the value of that bottle of Coke. Such that if the last time I saw you was at Sheraton and you're drinking Coke, when you see me here, you say, welcome, sir. You don't remember me? I'm the lady that was drinking Coke in Sheraton. Because that Coke now, so that level, you don't remember how we operate at the same level. But let's go to the flip side. This is how much they sell. The next question is, how much will you buy this bottle of Coke? How much will you buy it? If they are selling 1,000, 2,000, that's their own business. But how much will you buy? Let me create new scenarios for you. How many of us have traveled Lagos by the expressway before? Okay. When there's traffic. When there's traffic from hell. When there's traffic from the hottest part of hell. Okay, good. So remind you are there 8 hours, no movement. Even though you are pastor's wife, you have removed your jacket. It means only camisole. You don't send again. And then, you know, there are communities around the express. So, ice Coke here, you now see ice block inside. How much will you pay for that same bottle of Coke? 1,000 naira. Will you buy? Or you say, I die here. Or after taking 2 bottles of Coke, just like in this meeting now, there's lunch going to be served, there are drinks, and then somebody come and say, I got buy Coke, will you buy? The same Coke has dropped in value, the same bottle of Coke. So, now that you understand value, you see, I'm not necessarily going to address this thing, but I'm going to open your minds and let you make your decisions. let me introduce you to a new gold mine, a new diamond mine. And I tell you this, the new gold is in platforms. Alibaba, how many of us know Alibaba? Alibaba. Looking at somebody. Alibaba is an online marketplace in China. There's a program, when we have Black Friday, in China, they do Singles Day, 11 of November, 1111. It's called Singles Day, that's on Black Friday. In that one day, Alibaba makes $30 billion in sales on the platform. $30 billion. So what's your budget again? Nigeria's budget for the whole 1 year. Okay. When you know, let me know. Now, you can't see this, but what this slide shows is that between 2018 and 2008 and 2018, between the top 10 companies, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or half of them are platform organizations. 10 years ago, there was only one. Now, this is what a platform organization is. Facebook. Facebook is the world's largest media company, but doesn't have its own content. Who produces content for Facebook? Who? How much they pay you? Free. Good. Alibaba. How many products does Alibaba make? None. Amazon? None. Google is the world's largest software vendor, but doesn't write most of its apps. There's something they call open source. You know open source, there are a number of well-known applications that are open source. Meaning that just you come, write your own, you improve on it. They're not paying you, it's free. Airbnb, world largest hotel chain, no property. Skype, world largest phone company, no telco infrastructure. Netflix, world largest movie house, no theaters. What have they done? They have created a platform. They have said, everybody, come, all of you, mumu, you go. When you now gather, they'll now go out. Come and see. I have people. People now pay them to come and access you guys. That's the platform. That is why they paid. WhatsApp had not made $1 in revenue before. Who bought them now? Facebook. Before Facebook bought them for serious billions of dollars. Because they had created all of you. Hey, baby, what's up? I do emoji. They just shoot and see them. They're all there. Come. And they paid. And so you need to begin to rewire your thinking for the new normal, the new economy. Let's leave the unicorns alone. A unicorn is a company that is valued at about $1 billion. And it's interesting that we now have Nigerian unicorns. Flutterwave is a unicorn. SpaceX is a unicorn. InterSwitch is a unicorn. Their valuation in dollars is over $1 billion. And some of them, you know the boys, we used to drink Gary together. No be Yola, I'm Yoluwa. And the Polish and I'm my junior. But that's a story for the gods now. The guys rolling with the guys. So, it is said here that, you know, there's now, in health tech, there's now DNA, what's it called? Pay as you go DNA. You buy the pack, take your swab, you send it back. They will tell you where your great-grandfather came from. And so Samuel L. Jackson there, he came to Gabon because when he did his own swab, they say his roots is from Gabon. And so, now you may not be able to build a platform, but the oxygen that the platform lives on is content. And that's why they say content is king. And I say here that with the rise of platforms comes the rise of content. I have Macaroni here. I have Investor Sabinus, Mark Angel Comedy, Yawa Skits, Brother Shaggy, Sisi Yemi. These are guys who are leveraging social media to make a killing. If you know how much YouTube pays in dollars to these guys for what the content they put on YouTube free of charge, you'll be shocked. That's the new normal you're talking about. Am I beginning to make sense? But then there's a science to it. A number of us have struggled, social. There's a science. You can't jump it. And so, like I was saying, as a person, as a pharmacist, what is your replaceability index? Like I said, it's not about how much they can pay you. Can they replace you? And I say in the healthcare space, with the evolution of technology, they are taking different people out one by one. The people who seem to be hardest hit now are the lab guys. And they are fighting, but they are fighting a lost battle. Even sperm analysis, there's now a do-it-yourself DIY kit. There's Sperm OK, marketed by New Heights. Now, if you are a guy and you have to assess the quality of your sperm, the thought of it alone is difficult. Not to now talk of you go to a lab to do the sample collection. How? I mean, even you they think I'm okay, they will give me one room, okay, I'll go there and then do what? But then this is a company that has packaged the solution that in your house. Just do it. You analyze it by yourself. You by yourself will see your results. And so the advent and New Heights has the flurry of home test kits, from prostate to pregnancy to malaria. So the same thing that have gone to lab to kill, collect blood and everything. Now in the comfort of your home you can do. You can see that a profession is being threatened. That's why they are fighting pharmacy with everything they have. That you can't be doing lab, you can't be doing tests. I hear in Lagos, a farmer is even saying that we are not saying you can't do the test too, but you can't put it outside that you are doing the test. Because the lab guys are going to tell them that, look, they have collected all our bread. And so we need to be wary. And they are coming for pharmacy too. And so we disrupt or be disrupted. Technology is not a solution, it's an enabler. This is what the MD of Nokia said. He said, we did not do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. And that's very instructive. They were doing their business, but they were dying in the process. I'll just help you understand, because some of us don't understand this tech thing. We just hear tech. It sounds tech, but we don't understand how it works. So I'll walk you through the 6 Ds, and I think I'll be closing from there with a few live examples. So this is the 6 Ds of exponential framework. The first thing that needs to be done is for the thing to be digitized. After it is digitized, it moves into the deceptive. The deceptive mode, it moves into the disruptive, demonetized, dematerialized, and then democratized. What does digitized mean? The first thing is to make it a virtual product. So the moment you move that handwritten document and you have a soft copy, it becomes a digital document. The computer reads it as a series of ones and zeros. The moment you move your video from a disk or from a whatever and you make it online downloadable, it becomes digitized. Am I making sense? The next thing to do is to make it deceptive. It enters the deceptive phase. When they're like, just like Bitcoin, it's a lie. It cannot work. How will people leave their house and go and sleep in the house of somebody they don't know? In a country they've never been to, That's the deceptive phase of technology. Uber, that I will enter a motor that is not yellow and black. And it will just park, I will enter, they will not carry me away. Is a lie. So the first thing they did was to digitize the solution. Once you digitize, it enters the deceptive phase. Just like when we did Farmer Gateway. Right now we're in the deceptive phase. It's a lie. They want to steal out. Some states are saying, PSN wants to know how much we are making so that they can now come back and remove our money. That's the deceptive phase. The next phase is the disruptive phase. When they start saying, come on. You be like, say, this thing is true. This thing is going to be true. At that point, it's disrupting things. The next thing, I'll share the slides with YPG so you can study them later. The next thing is it becomes demonetized. Things you used to pay for become free. And so, in the past, you will buy a digital camera, you will buy film. Am I correct? Today, you buy a camera and then buy film. But now the film part is free. It's demonetized because it's now a digital product. And it's interesting that the people that created the technology was Kodak. They created the digital camera, but say lie, there will never be camera without film. And then somebody did it. And then they ran out. Then the next thing is it becomes dematerialized. The phone you carry today is about 20 gadgets all in one. You have a camera, you have a clock, you have a radio, you have all those things were individual gadgets that have all been dematerialized into that small gadget. And then the last stage is democratized, where it becomes everywhere. Dear guys, the future is the convergence of health and technology. So the question you want to ask yourself is, where is that convergence and where can I play in the convergence between health and technology? So what are the challenges of tech adoption? Fear of the unknown or fear of failure. Paper represents security. People like paper. That place, that check I signed, show me where I signed. Bring the documents. Paper is security. But then it's all vaporizing right now. There's a digital migration journey. There are people who still don't believe, no, I want to pay my dues. I'll now go on my phone. Press no, let me carry my cash. I'll go to bank. Pay, let them give me teller. I'll now photocopy the teller. And then, so there is that migration. It takes a while for some people to join. And some people are resistant to change. I remember one of us who is here, I won't mention his name, we were in a meeting with the association. He's a very progressive young pharmacist too. That meeting. And, he saw what we were presenting. I said, but so with this solution, can't we, make sure that the elders on the table now say, calm down, young man, calm down. If they don't come physically to the secretariat, what makes this place a secretariat? I laugh. Now it takes resistance to change. I'm still fighting the battle. I hope I win. And then it takes resolution of leadership. What are the areas requiring technology invention in Nigeria? This industry is one that is seriously lacking in market research. Everything we do is blind. Oh, want to import paracetamol? How many should I bring? Any amount, no need. Who will buy it? Is the people, no need. And when we sell it, is everybody not? There's no data anywhere to support anything. Should we then do the liquid or shall I bring everything? If it expires, God knows how to work it. So if you have a solution that can collate data and present it in a way that is useful for business, you are in money. I know you won't use it. About 5 years' time, when I finish what I'm doing, I'll come and start it. Regulatory activities needs to be automated. Patient care needs to be. So you need to begin to think, what problems are my patients having? How can I use technology to solve this problem for everybody? Logistics and distribution, manufacturing, learning and development, HCP engagement. Look at regulatory. Every year, PCN produces this book. If you go now to the secretariat, to the council in Yaba, the one for last year is there. Hard copy. How much research are you doing with this hard copy? Very limited. If they say, look for Yimika Ogos in this book. Yeah. Okay, Lagos. Okay. Oh, why? Which one? You know, but if this thing was in Excel, what do you need to do? Search Yimika. All the Yimikas will come out. Add Ogos. How many are you people? It's only you now. And they come out. So that's digitization. Then when you now move it and then add on to it, then you begin to see value. It is said that about 5 years ago, 75% of local governments in Nigeria don't have a community pharmacy serving them. 75, 3/4. But the question is, where are these places? In Oyo State, 17 out of the 33 local governments did not have a pharmacy. Abuja and Lagos are the only 2 states in Nigeria where there's at least one pharmacy in every local government. Opportunities everywhere. You want to go, Abi? Go. We are here. And so this is analysis of the pharmacies across the country. Now, this is a geospatial map. This map tells you where exactly the pharmacy. This is the project I said we had. But then if you now zone in closer, this is Oyo State. you will find out that virtually all the pharmacies. Oh shit! I should just be going. Okay, so all pharmacies are actually centered in Ibadan. All the other places are no pharmacy. It's only technology that can show you this information. I was supposed to share with you opportunities that are in the box and those that are out of the box. My time is gone. I cannot expatiate on them. But these are all the areas where you need to be looking at to find the new gold you are looking for. These are the key considerations, the things you need to do. How do you begin to deliver value? Why do young pharmacists fail? There's a problem of character, competence, and commitment. There's a problem of vision. We fail not because we aim too high and lose, but because we aim too low and we hit it. There's a problem of passion. There's a problem of commitment. There's a lack of business and clinical skills. And then there's a big problem of patience. Let me round up with this one. I was supposed to take each of the things we had done and show you how we did it. But let me talk about panel. And I'll talk about the lessons I learned from the panel. So the panel is the retail pharmacist. How many of us know the panel? Okay, so for those of us who don't know, the panel is a retail pharmacy conference that brings in community pharmacists from all over the country into one place for a 3-day conference. We started in 2009. That's 13. This year was the 13th edition of the conference. And these are the lessons I learned in the process. Number one, you start from where you are with what you have. Most of us want to start business at the level of where our current employers are. No. Start with what you are. Start with what you have where you are. When I started the panel, I did not have a company account. I did not have money to do the conference. I did not have anything. All I had was an idea. And I hosted the conference. I paid the venue from the money people were paying at the gates. After I reached 100,000, I went to pay them. And then for those because the money was not enough, they were paying into my dad's engineering account. Somebody come and say, sorry, this engineer, I say, it's paid there. It's us. Don't wait for things to be perfect before you launch out. Number two, the vision does not have to be yours. It doesn't have to be you that created the thing from the get-go. You can build on what somebody else is doing in some other place in the world. Lesson 3, be careful with good advice. It can be dangerous. What do I mean? When we started the panel, we wanted to operate at a particular level of quality. Some of my advisors were like, no, Shino, must they eat lunch? The way we do in PSN now, you eat puff-puff today, tomorrow. Hope they are not watching. And all the rest. I said, no, standard breakfast, standard lunch, and all those things. That is what has kept us till today, because people know the quality to expect. They were telling us to calm down, all those notebooks. It doesn't have to be so fancy. Lesson 4, watch out for the voice of God through man. At the point I was getting discouraged at the panel, she's actually the founder of my medicine, Sabimbola. When you do a program and a member, somebody that paid does vote of thanks. And she's taking me and says, you don't know what you are doing, but continue. Some of us have tried it in the past and we left it. Just keep pushing on. And that was the tonic I needed to do the next edition, which was our breakthrough. 5, when competition comes, be happy. Some people hate competition. I love competition. Because for us, when competition came, the person who wanted to do the similar program used my venue, used my speakers. And that was the time we moved to a bigger venue. So you want to play? Let's play the game. That was the first and last that person did. Know your numbers, your expenses, your price points. Start with your market where they are, not where you wish them to be. People will come against you. Please note, nobody throws stones at fruitless trees. Can you see? Christmas tree? That's a tree that has no fruit. Have you ever seen anybody throwing stone at it? You think it's mad. But orange, mango, once you have fruit, they'll throw stones at you. And so we had our fair share. There was this group there called Pagon. They've died a natural death. Nobody really came after us. They went on Facebook. They say he's into advertisement only. Somebody said the advertisement is not free. Those he advertises for, pay him handsomely. What about the panel on retail pharmacy organizers? A smart way of reaping unsuspecting pharmacists. RX evolution cannot fool me. I'm smarter than him. This was how many years ago? We are here. They are. did an analysis. I love this analysis. He says, if 500 dumb pharmacists, this is Facebook, if 500 dumb pharmacists register for this panel of frustration, 500 times 15,000, 7.5 million. Revenue for 1 day, 7.5. Cost of conference, 2.5. Profit per panel, 5 million. Organized 4 panels, 20 million. How many pharmacists make this from their shed? At least it's not looting public funds. Where do they say? They say, Rarex Evolution Healthcare smiles to a Papa branch of Zenith Bank in his Honda Element at the end of every panel. They even wish car for me. So when you do something good, they will come after you. But be focused. Lesson 9, brand building takes time. That's one thing I've learned from Reload. Consistent brand building year on year, and see where the brand is today. Disappointments are part of the package. When we started this program and Bukomi was working, Bukola and his coordinator were working about, I don't know how it feels, but it's part of it. Keep to your standards, be open to ideas from strange places, be your own competition. Don't wait for other people to compete. If there's no competition, be your own competition. Stay focused, think big, but the cue ball, white ball, is the God factor. The God factor makes all the difference. If you do everything, and hand is on, my brother, game over. I'll end with this saying from Macaulay. He says, when the end comes for you, and it will definitely come, make sure it makes you climbing new mountains and not sliding down old hills. Thank you very much. You've been wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Can we give a round of applause? Wow. Thank you so much, sir. I know, in fact, we didn't want to stop. We wanted to continue. In fact, we say we should give extra time. Should we give extra? Thank you, sir. I think the escorts will take fix with him. Yes, so thank you so much. Quickly, we're going to have a birthday celebration, and he has a big cake. So if everybody leave, I'll cut the cake alone. But right now, I want to take remarks quickly from my guy is telling me I should take the second stanza. But since I have the authority of the mic, I want us to recite the first to last. All right, can we start? Can we be upstanding, please? Can I be honest to start as we take the national anthem? I also want someone to lead us in the anthem. Who are the cool boys? Van, you're one of the tallest guys here. I can see you from here. Okay. Thank you. Yes, please. Can we appreciate him? Let's encourage him. He's a great guy. I'll tell you so much about him and his static crew. Wonderful people. They didn't only shake Lagos. You've shaken the whole pharmacy in Nigeria. Thank you. So we want to take the national anthem, the second stanza. I won't tell you which one is the second stanza. So you will leave because I can feel your hands. Okay. Sir? Why not first? Which one do you want? Take anyone you're comfortable with. So we're all here for you. Yes. Okay. Nigeria's call over to serve our fatherland with love and strength of faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, our nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Thank you very much. Can we please celebrate this young man? Oh, you feel the voice, stubborn. You feel her. As the you like some people they disguise so. All right, thank you very much, Brian. Can we please have our seats? I would not want to take much of our time as I welcome my own friend, a great man indeed. He has been in the forefront of the affairs of YPG, of PSN-YPG Lagos State. So I want you to join me as I welcome the state coordinator of YPG in person of Obonyomi Emmanuel to give us his welcome address. Can we please welcome him?
Thank you very much. Good morning, distinguished guests, colleagues, invited speakers. My name is Pharmacist Emmanuel Obayomi. I'm the state coordinator for YPG Lagos. First, I would like to apologize for starting at this time. Some unforeseen circumstances came up, and that's why we are starting by this time. First, I would like to appreciate everyone for taking out time to be here. Today is a public holiday, and I know that from the stress of work, most of us would want to relax, probably go for an outing, just relax, and then you are here this morning for another kind of symposium. I want to appreciate you for taking out that time. God bless you. Also, I would like to appreciate, I can see our keynote speaker already in the hall. That's Farm Shino Okpanubi.
And the Chief Operating Officer of Pharmacy Plus, the President of Pharmacists, Chukwuemeka Obi. He'll be giving us his remarks shortly after this. Thank you very much.
I'll please appreciate him as he comes forward. Cindy, continue. Let me take my picture. Yes.
Please, as he takes his step off the stage, let's give him a round of applause. He's a lover of young pharmacists, someone who has been a great support to young pharmacists in Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm being put on the spot because I just wanted to do a quick in and out, but Shino held me down. I want to greet every one of you, and I want to thank the organizers and the past presidents of YPG. Forget about the white bird, so I'm still a YP too. I want to acknowledge the good works you people are doing, and I want to thank each and every one of you that made out time to come here today. And the reason is very simple. Some of the things that will make all the difference in your lives are the things you hear and the things you see. Shino is one person I always like to tap his brain. And I was here where the panelists were here, and I listened to to each and every one of them. And I must have to tell us something. Most of the things that we are chasing are not in far-flung places. They are here. They are here. It's just for us to look deeper, scratch deeper, and you'll find them. If there's something I heard which I want people to take home, is the issue of trying to find one problem in this space and solve it. If you're able to do that, money will chase you. Yes, that's the reality. I left pharmacy school this is my 27th year as a pharmacist. And when I left pharmacy school, one thing was very clear to me. I know I wasn't cut out to write CVs. And I made up my mind that, look, I want to start something and watch it endure. Our flagship was this product, Alphabetic. And over time, God has helped us. I like how Shino ended, the God factor. For every one of us, I want to implore you. Those that want to go, those that want to leave this space, I wish you well. But one thing I've known over time in my life that, look, Nigeria holds so much promise. Not even promises. And where there are no problems, there's nothing on the table, there's no money on the table. I still made a pitch for a business for the abroadians. That was on Saturday. And one of the slides was highlighted, not even one, 5 slides. The first 5 slides was to show what the problems were or the problems are. Then you now talk about the solutions you want to bring to the table. The financial was the second to the last slide. Even competitors. In a business where there are no competitors, that means you must have to look at it again. What am I trying to say in essence? Look deeper, scratch deeper, and search deeper. I love young pharmacists. I do. I can't remember, even when, from inception, Peter is here, he can attest to that. When there was no value to be taken. Today, a lot of people will come around because there's value on the table. People are bringing value. Right? But then I don't know whether you did not offer me any value. But I was doing it out for the love. And still today, the love is still there. I wish you guys well, and I look forward to seeing you guys at the top. But whatever you want to do, always think about the value you want to bring to the table. I've always said it every time. Oh, there are no jobs. Look, there are jobs, and I'll keep mentioning it. I'm owing one of you. The lady is supposed to be in Port Harcourt. I promised her because she said that I've forgotten her name, but for the purpose of this, whatever, if anybody remember, I can't remember this I mentioned, and she challenged me, and I told her anytime you're ready. She reached out to me, but I can't remember what her name is, so I cannot figure out her name from my phone. For example, and then some of my guys are at the back there. Some of my guys are at the back there, and they know. We have a staff that is doing 13% of our entire turnover. Chisom, is it a lie? One person. And I can tell you the number is massive. If I see 10 people that are ready to do the same thing, those people are employed, though. So when people say there are no jobs, I laugh. So on that note, I don't want to take your time because I know, most of us are tired, and the smell of the food at the back is, the aroma is something else. Some of us want to have a feel of that. I want to thank you for sparing our time to come. Don't think it's a wasted time or a wasted effort. But most of the things you hear here, take it home, chew them, and try to imbibe them. If there's something I learned early in my life, is reading the biographies of people that made it. When I read How I Lost My Virginity by Richard Branson, it blew me away, and I read so many others thereafter, and it has always helped. If you're able to replicate what somebody successful has done, even if by maybe up to 50%, I can tell you will touch success. On that note, I want to thank you for sparing our time to come, and for all of you, I will tell you you're my friends, and anywhere you see me, engage me. Only that mask have made things very difficult. I see some people I don't recognize them. I wish you all well, and you do have a good evening. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, sir. We are going to see value, sir. PSN-YPG, we deliver value. Thank you very much once again for that remark. Right about now, I'm going to be calling the representative of the Lagos State PSN chairman to come and give us a remark.
In person of Pharmacists, Kende Adepoju, a round of applause for him as he makes his way off stage for his
remark.
Okay, just a minute before his take up. Mega Medis has lots of gifts, shopping voucher, and cash prizes at the back for us. Now, the deal is download the app and sign up and order for a drug. I've done it and it's free, and I have a shopping voucher already. So order it quickly and present it at and you get your cash prize or a shopping voucher gift. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone, distinguished pharmacists and colleagues here present. The chairman of the occasion in absentia, Honorable Akim Shokule, who is the chairman, House Committee on Health, Lagos State House of Assembly. Our keynote speaker, my very own brother and mentor. I've known him for a very long time. Pharmacist Shina Opanubi, the project catalyst for Farm Alliance. He is not just the project catalyst for Farm Alliance. We call him the catalyst because he has successfully catalyzed a lot of growth reactions over the years. And the keynote address was very stimulating. Please, can we just give him a round of applause? Thank you, Farm Shino. Our distinguished colleagues and our panelists, invited guests, I welcome you all, and thank you for waiting this long. I bring you greetings from the Lagos State Chairman of PSN, Pharmacist Gbagada Iyola FPSN, who is unavoidably absent. And I can confirm to you that up till last night, this event was top on his list of programs that he planned to attend for today. But unfortunately, he had to attend to some urgent official assignment, and he has asked me to represent him. All right, so he sent his apologies. And for those of you who know the chairman very well, you will agree with me that he is an ardent believer in the YPG project, the YPG dream. He is big on personal and professional development, as well as mentorship for young pharmacists. So it is indeed a great pleasure to be here and to be invited. The theme of the week, the new normal, emerging roles of young pharmacists, is both instructive and timely. The COVID-19 pandemic has no doubt impacted every aspect of our daily and professional lives and ushered in a new reality. And this reality has caused an increase in economic burden, disruption into supply chain, increased cost of treatment, shortage of global food supply, increased disease burden, just to mention a few. And with challenges come opportunities. The opportunities are limitless, just like Famshino mentioned. And I would like to just use the analogy of Pharmacist Shino. In 2014, I was at the ACPN National Conference in Ilori that was held at Aka Center Event Center. And he came up stage, addressing the delegates. He held a note. I can't remember the denomination, about 500 or 1,000. And he asked them, how many of you want this money? The hands went up. And he held the money, the note, squeezed the note, ruffled the note, and lifted it again and asked the same question. How many of you still want this note? And the hands went up again. In fact, this time, more hands went up. And he was trying to let us understand that the value of Naira is actually not in its state at that time. So the same thing, COVID-19 pandemic has come to ruffle us as professionals. But of course, our values have not changed. We are still pharmacists. It should challenge us to look beyond the normal. It should challenge us to look outside the box. Take advantage of the opportunities that are there in blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, and improve on the practice. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that PSN Lagos State will continue to support and mentor and open its doors to all young pharmacists, irrespective of practice areas, to harness the opportunities of the new normal. Distinguished young pharmacists here present and those watching via the internet, It is time to think outside the box and take advantage of the plethora of information and opportunities at our disposal. Let me add that Lagos State will stop at nothing to continue to open its doors. Our mentorship program is being revamped to provide more mentorship, tutelage, and collaboration with young pharmacists. In closing, I would like to urge you all to keep an open mind, keep learning, keep changing the narrative of pharmacy practice. I wish you all a memorable week. Thank you all, and God bless YPG, Lagos State.
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Kehinde Adegboju. We can do better than that. A round of applause. I see our mouths are busy, but our hands are not. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you very much, sir. If you've been listening so far, you understand that the crux of the matter has been value creation, searching for more than what is conventional. So, young pharmacists, I am hoping that at this point of this opening ceremony, we should be thinking of disruptive ways, innovations that we can bring to the table. All right.
Which table?
Any table you find yourself, really, anyone, even the one you're eating on right now.
Yes, I can see some things on the table.
All right. Remarks from the YPG National Chairman.
I can also see that the National Vice Chairman is seated right beside her.
All right.
We recognize you, sir.
Please, a round of applause for the YPG National Chairman, the leader to over 5,000 young pharmacists in Nigeria. It is not easy. Please make some noise. Thank you, ma. I go please, I go down.
Thank you very much. You know, usually we undulate a lot when we are claiming numbers for YPG. it's very interesting. Sometimes we go from 1,005 to 2,000, and I'm much more comfortable with percentages. You know, I can tell you that over 75% of the community pharmacy workforce are members of my organization. You can't argue that with me. Okay. All protocols duly observed. The catalyst of catalysts. It's always a pleasure listening to you. I would be remiss in my duties if I do not recognize the presence of the leaders of YPG here present, past leaders of YPG present. From Onimisi Benjamin, he usually calls YPG his baby. You know, it's been a couple of years, and he was one of the brains that made YPG become an interest group of the PSN. So I would like you all to just appreciate Dr. Onimisi Benjamin, who's here present. And like the moderator said, my vice chairman is also here present, Pharmacist Ajibade Oluwabukumi. And yes, the person that just finished speaking happens to be, Emmanuel, he's your great-grandfather, Abi? Okay. He was a one-time state coordinator of YPG Lagos. He was pioneer. He was a pioneer. So it was my great-grandfather, I think, in YPG Lagos. It's been... Anyway, the summary of this is, it shows that YPG believes a whole lot in continuity. YPG believes a whole lot in being able to pass the message across from one generation to the other. And having these men who have gone ahead of us still here present with us today means a whole lot. So, I bring you greetings from the National Secretariat of PSN-Young Pharmacists Group. I'll do a little bit of history. In October 2019, the very first YPG Lagos Week held. I was fortunate to be a part of that administration. I was the general secretary, I think. And I dare say that was the first independent week of any YPG chapter in Nigeria. The vision was to have a week where young pharmacists could network, address pressing problems, and also make a lasting mark on their community. The theme for that year was Young Pharmacists as Champions of the SDGs 2030. In 2020, the theme was the future of healthcare, leveraging pharmacies as the first port of call. And today, 2021, which marks the third edition of the YPG Lagos Week,
The theme is the new normal, emerging roles for young pharmacists. We have come some way since we first started, and I know I speak for all the past leaders and visionaries, Kenneth Phillips, Muyiwa Olagunju, Fumbi Okoya, Olabi Oyekomi, amongst others, when I say that I am immensely proud of how far YPG Lagos has come. As national chairman, it gives me immense and great pleasure to be here present. I imagined I would have a challenge knowing if I was coming here as IPC of Lagos or if I was coming here as national chairman. But it's fun to be able to handle both positions. I'll just say a little bit about PSN-YPG. The mission of PSN-Young Pharmacists Group is to help develop individuals who can act as agents of positive change at local, national, and international levels, both in the profession and in the society, based on the spirit of national cooperation towards sustainable development. The core of our mandate generally revolves around providing value, empowering young pharmacists, increasing professional competencies, providing increased access to both local and international opportunities, helping to protect young pharmacists from exploitation in the workplace. We're also committed to building relevance in PSN-YPG as an organization. This is for the benefit of those of us who might just wonder, okay, if we keep talking YPG, what exactly do you people do? So this is just a summary of some of the things that YPG has been about for the past couple of years. But the overall goal of all of this is to make PSN-YPG work for us, is to make PSN-YPG work for you as a young pharmacist, is to make PSN-YPG work for me as a young pharmacist. And this cannot be made possible without participation, cannot be made possible without your involvement. Imagine Pharmacist Obayomi Emmanuel and his team put this together and nobody showed up. We would not be having this event. So without you, there is no PSN-YPG. Also, even as I prepared to exit the stage, I know that if you have been paying attention to YPG events, you would know we're rounding up another year, another mandate. I look forward to a leadership that understands what PSN-YPG stands for and is committed to performing and getting things done. Again, nothing can be done without you, so we should be looking out for a leadership that is committed to providing value for you as an individual and also for the organization. And for PSN-YPG Lagos, I must say that year in, year out, we strive to surpass what has been done. And today, I am proud. I am proud of what you have been able to achieve here today. Today is just the opening ceremony. So in the spirit of involvement and showing up, you know that there are still other activities lined up. So I will encourage us all to show up. There is no particular sect that gets to lead YPG Lagos or that gets to lead PSN-YPG. All you need is the will to do. And you just show up. Just show up and people get to see what you have to offer. In conclusion, I would like to, well, it's probably not my place to do a vote of thanks, but yes, I would like to appreciate everyone who has made this happen, the leadership of PSN-YPG Lagos, the executive council members, and one group of people that we don't ever remember, and that's the planning committee. Most times we give a whole lot of credit to the people at the top, and you forget the foot soldiers who actually got the job done. You have done a fantastic job today. So thank you very much for listening, and congratulations on having one of the best opening ceremonies yet for PSN-YPG Lagos Week. God bless you. Woo!
We can do better than that. Another round of applause for her, please. Thank you very much, our chairperson. If you have never seen our chairperson before, that is our national chairperson, person of Pharmacists, Yimika Oguns. All right. We have a birthday celebrant. Okay, so we'll just take that now. We have a birthday celebrant, one of us, a young pharmacist, who would like to share his special day with every young pharmacist seated in this hall today.
Revitalization.
I enjoyed all of us to share the goodwill. I'll call the state coordinator to do the honors for us. The cutting of the cake, the singing, whatever. Please a round of applause for him. And Pharmacist Vitalis, HGDK, please make your way forward, birthday boy, so we can quickly get this party started.
For mama to play a song and call my ADHD. With this baby face, fine, get him really hate me. Get him belly aches, love him waist deep. Every occasion, I put me to
Okay, so I think today is the birthday of one of our members. That's Farm Vitalis Revitalization. So quickly, I would like us to. I'm not really a good singer, but I know we have beautiful voices in our midst. So I would like us to sing a happy birthday song. Yeah, we have to sing the song before he cuts the cake. So can we all sing the popular happy birthday song? Happy birthday. 1, 2, go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vitalis. Happy birthday to you. How old are you? For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. So we'll be cutting the cake. I want, who are your friends? People that you want to join this cake. Okay. He's asking for our national chairman, the publicity secretary for PSN Lagos, national vice chairman, please do us the honors. Our former national chairman, Dr. Onimisi. Strong men. See, you're calling strong men. Women. Who else?
Run on the hustle and they try sustain. Every start today. From Milajet down to Costa.
This cake
is carry my blessing run. Today now you tomorrow will be my turn. Show me love, now go show me python. We be the same for Oluwa Kingdom. So me say, celebrate me.
So we'll spell Vitalis. Vitalis is one thing. No, Vitalis is long. So Vitalis. Yes, so we'll spell it at the last word we call the cake. So V I T I Abi, okay. Hey, sorry. L I S. Happy birthday.
Round of applause for him. Please celebrate his birthday.
It's a special day. Okay, so I want to use this opportunity also to just present 2 quick awards. So let me climb the stage. Okay, so we had a very beautiful keynote address by Pharmacists. Where is it? Shino Panubi. So we would like to present an award for him, recognizing him as a... Please, can someone... Okay, we want to recognize him as the keynote address speaker for today's occasion. And to do the presentation of this award, I would like to call one of our big daddies in YPG, one-time national chairman of PSN-YPG, Dr. Onimisi Peters. Please kindly do us the honor of presenting this award.
Thank you, my chairman, Pharmacist Emmanuel, for a job well done. Though you've called me to present an award, but let me use this opportunity to say YPG Lagos started on WhatsApp in 2016. Probably I was the first member on WhatsApp. Today, you can imagine how happy, excited and I am that what started on WhatsApp has transformed to what we're having today. You would be thinking that this is a national event, but this is a Lagos event. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for what you're doing. Please start preparing yourself for national assignment. Don't stop here. Now, to the biggest honor. You've done me a very big honor to ask me to present this to my own Oga. You know, when we started YPG project, we started with him. We went to him, we talked to him what we wanted to do, and he has always been there. Day, night, he will give you the contact, he will give you the advice, he will be there to talk to you. He will shall do everything possible to ensure you, and he will carry you along. You know, so when you see, he can, I'm sure he knows he can call us anytime and we are there. He's one person, he will call you, you can't give excuses. You have to cancel other appointments to meet his own. Because he has been a mentor, he has been a role model, and he's still there. Thank you, sir, for what you're doing and for mentoring us and inspiring us. This award is an award of recognition presented to pharmacist Additional Opanubi. I hope you know his name is Shine because he shines. As keynote speaker at PSN-YPG Lagos Week opening ceremony, this award is presented on 19th October 2021. Congratulations, sir.
In my life for you, all over the news, all over the news. Only God and I know the kind of thing I do, the kind of thing we do.
Thank you very much, Dr. Peters. Lastly, I have one award left. Yeah, we want to also recognize and appreciate, like what was earlier said, the PSN Lagos chairman has been a constant supporter of YPG. My predecessor can testify that he's always ready to listen, can call him, can send him messages, just ready to assist us wherever possible. So today we would like to do the honors of giving him this recognition, appreciating him for his constant support for young pharmacists in Lagos. And to receive this award is the publicity secretary for PSN Lagos, representing the PSN chairman, pharmacist Kendi Adepoju. Please, sir, can you come over? And to present this award is no other person than our national chairman, who was a former Lagos State coordinator, actually handed over to me, Pharmacist Shimika Oguns. Please, can you do us the honors? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the, let me borrow the words of Dr. Peter, for the honor of allowing me present an award to my chairman. I call him my daddy because that's who he is to young pharmacists generally in Lagos. I think if we were to count the number of cases he has had to help us settle between employees and employers in the past 2 years, it's a lot. It's a lot of cases, and it's an honor to present this award of recognition to pharmacists Gbagada Iyola FPSN, the chairman of PSN Lagos, ably represented by Francis Kende Phillips, for his continuous contribution to PSN-YPG Lagos. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. In closing, I'm trying to locate. Okay, I would like to call on, you see, the whole beautiful planning today's event has been chaired by a very wonderful lady. She has been, I'm sure most of us have seen her walking up and down. I want to call her for the vote of thanks, but before I call her up, I want to hype her a bit because she has really done a very good work, sleepless nights, series of meetings, and I don't know how to categorize. She has enough energy to dispense, and she has been dispensing it properly. And I would like to appreciate her. I would like to call the chairman of the planning committee for the week, Pharmacist Ogundele Bukola, to come and give the vote of thanks. Yes. Please, can we give her a sounding round of applause? Because without, I can confidently say without this lady, I don't know if this program will actually hold. Because I gave majority of the job to her and her team, and she delivered. So thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. I'm so honored, and joy fills my heart this evening. And thank you wouldn't be enough to, first off, my chairman, PSN Chairman Lagos. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much. Famshina Opanubi. Please, can we give him a round of applause? That man is a father. Like, everything you're seeing here in the background, I was going to ask myself, like, is he part of my committee? He had to put so many things on himself in a short notice. Thank you so much, sir. So much honor in my heart to you. Thank you so much. YPG National Chairman, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much for the help. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you so much. My coordinator, Pharmacist Emmanuel Obayomi. So much love I have for you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, because I see it as a privilege. Thank you so much. To my planning committee, wherever you are, please, you deserve a round of applause for yourself. I couldn't have done this by myself. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And to YPs in Lagos, you guys blew my mind today. I was pretty scared. I was like, would this all be filled? Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for yourselves. Thank you so much to everybody that made this happen. To Taiwo, my facilitators, everybody, Ben Ajepetemi, you guys did amazingly well. Thank you so much. And I would like to tell you, this is just the beginning. We have so much things lined up for you during the week until December 11. Yes, December 11 too is another moment you are looking up to. And I want to see the same energy and the same drive till the end. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful evening, everybody. I love you so much. Thank you.
Loving you be my greatest sin. I said I was done, but see I'm here.
Yeah, we should close, but I want to quickly bring up someone. Okay, so we all know that elections are coming up. The YPG national election is coming up, and we have someone in our midst. I would just like to talk to us. His name is Pharmacist Okiche. I don't know if I got that pronunciation well, but I know I got Prince Will. So he wants to just speak to young pharmacists in Lagos. Please, can we give him a round of applause?
PSN. I know we have eaten and the meal is delicious. I just ate, I don't know if it is Gbagada. And this is my first time. I think it's nice. First of all, I want to greet these men on the high table and the national chairman. All protocols duly observed. Pharmacist Onimisi Peter, one of the pioneer chairman of PSN-YPG. So having the pioneer chairman of PSN-YPG, the current chairman of PSN-YPG in Lagos State, it is wonderful. No wonder the state is called the Center of Excellence. I can see everybody excelling with smiling faces. My name is Okiche Prince Ulugochukwu, the coordinator of PSN-YPG Rivers. What you are seeing here, we did in PSN-YPG Rivers, we did our own week in the month of September, and it was hectic. What you are seeing here, people put out their time, their resources to make sure that this thing is like this. So I want to plead with you, both the students that will soon join YPG, support them, because it is not easy. And PSN-YPG, the continuity is very, very important, because
PSN-YPG is one of the best things that happened to pharmacy profession, bringing you closer to the leadership of PSN, and with that, we excel. Coming to why, one of the reasons why I came here today, when I learned the PSN Publicity Secretary of Lagos State, Pharmacist Kayode Kehinde, told me that an event like this will be is happening in Lagos State, that I should try and be present. So I looked at it, I said, let me come and see what is happening here, so that I can go back and tell my people, in Zion, it is happening. And really, Lagos State is doing well. So I met Pharmacist Sashino. Hopefully, when I hand over next year, Pharmacist Shino will be in Port Harcourt to do something for PSN-YPG. And the Sanofi lady, the madam from Sanofi that did the part of the panelists will be in Port Harcourt, because I believe in continuity. Like for our program this year, we had the Deputy Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly as the keynote speaker. We tailored it towards politics. And here this is tech. So what it means is that PSN-YPG in all ramifications is making sure that there are people, that the members are moving forward. Because as a tech guy, it takes only a political statement to spoil your business. It takes only a political statement to spoil your business. So if you are a tech guy and your colleague, who is a pharmacist, is a politician, when the bill comes up in the house, your friend who is a pharmacist that is a politician will not allow you to fly, because he will give you feedback that this is what they are trying to do. This is this. You will now tell him, okay, this is what you are going to do for me, to not fly. So in as much as we are pursuing the career, the emerging roles for pharmacists also puts politics into consideration, because it will be a nice one that in years to come, that you have a Lagos State governor as a pharmacist. And then when PSN-YPG wants to do an event, you go to more, you have resources to do that, and also train more young pharmacists. I'll start with, in 2017, I attended my first YPG program in Rivers State, which is called Let's Enlighten All Pharmacists. So after that program, I was in final year. I got interested in YPG activities. I came on board 2018, 2019. I was part of the committee that prepared the plan for the program, and it was a success. Then in 2020, I became the secretary. We did a lot of things to move the association forward. In 2021, I had the privilege to serve as a coordinator. And starting from the first program of PSN-YPG, from 40 to recording over 170 persons in attendance of PSN-YPG Rivers, the continuity is there and the growth is there. And we have the full support of all our leaders. And with the experience I've gathered, I want to bring it to the national level. In PSN-YPG 2019, we did a COVID-19 sensitization program, which gave us an accolade both in the national and the state level. We brought about newsletters to publicize activities and so many other things that we did. And 2020, we did, So, come PSN-YPG election in Rivers State, what I'm bringing to the table, effective secretarial representation, effective inclusiveness of everybody in PSN-YPG activity, and social media, because anybody that have not heard anything about you will not know who you are. And in PSN-YPG Rivers, we do it continuously. Media engagement, we'll bring it to the national level, and we're going to do a lot of things. And with your support, I believe PSN-YPG will move further. Thank you very much.
Okay, since we are still eating, in the spirit of the campaign, I would also just want to give you 3 minutes. I want to invite Pharmacist Vitalis, birthday celebrant, also has 1 or 2 things to say to us.
Ever since I got my first hit song, getting jealous.
Good evening, everybody. PSN, I want to sincerely appreciate the organizers of this event. Pharmacist Emmanuel Aboyomi, you did so well. I really appreciate you. Then to the past ESCOs of PSN-YPG, starting from my Oga, Pharmacist Peter Onimisi, and the current chairman, Capacity Woman. Greetings to you. I really appreciate your presence, and it's actually because of you guys, what you guys has done, that we are now competing now. We are leveraging on what you what you've done. So, and okay, my name is Pharmacist Ejidike Vitalis, and immediate past coordinator of PSN-YPG Anambra State. I'm currently residing in Lagos, working with Alpha Pharmacy, and I am an aspirant for PSN-YPG National Vice Chairman, come Rivers YPG National Election. And I want to sincerely appreciate what's happened here today. You know, everybody that spoke today, the panelists, our guest speaker, they centered on one thing: value creation, value addition. That is my tag: value creation. Now, what we have here, like what we have here today, is actually too much for Lagos. We need to take it to the nation. We need to take it to Nigeria in general. That is the idea I want to do. We want to create value. We want to make you employable. We want to create access for you. There are so many things we've done. When I was the PSN-YPG coordinator of Anambra State, there's a whole lot of things we did. We liaised with the whole of officers. And coming to national, we hope to bring those things on board. Internship, continuity programs, partnership, collaborations. We need to create value. There's something I was thinking in terms of creating value. I was like, we can actually help ourselves grow with PSN-YPG. Because PSN, in general, has one intention. They have one big problem, which is fighting open drug markets. Now, they can't just open because there's a whole lot of forces against those things. But we can actually help ourselves. And the only way we can help ourselves, according to my PCN chairman, he said, we can assist ourselves. If two pharmacies can come together and compete and open an industrial pharmacy with the support of YPGs, YPs, we can go a long way. We can support ourselves. Now, imagine somebody imports and sells a particular medication, and then we leverage on the capacity and number of YPs to circulate this medication across board. You can imagine when you do it for 1, 2, or 3, or 4, 5 YPs at the same time, how you have empowered these YPs. These are many more we will bring to the table if elected. So I pray, come Rivers, we'll be able to make a good choice and continue from where our predecessors has stopped. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Fan Vitalis. Last but not the least, I know we all know her. She's everywhere, but I would like to give her the opportunity to just officially introduce herself and just talk to us about her ambition. Kindly welcome from Cindy, aka Cindy Cruz.
PSN. Good evening, young pharmacists. I'm privileged to be standing before you today. For the purpose of those that do not know my full name, because that's like always an issue, my full name is Ozuloha Chioma Cynthia, popularly known as Cindy Cruz. And I'm standing here today to officially inform young pharmacists in Lagos and beyond of my intentions to run for the National Public Relations Officer come November at the Port Harcourt conference, where the elections will be happening for PSN-Young Pharmacists Group. I'm currently the National Public Media person. I'm the Media and Publicity Coordinator for PSN-YPG, and having worked closely with the Office of the current National Public Relations Officer, I have first-hand experienced the issues that faced with young pharmacists with regards member relations, engagement, accessibility, and something that I'm more passionate about, which is value creation. So I don't know, I think it's like, I'll say divine orchestration that most of the things that has been discussed here today is PSN-YPG has we've moved past just an interest group where we come and just discuss problems. We want to be solution oriented. We want to be able to profess solutions to these problems that are fighting young pharmacists. And I believe that through value creation, tackling these problems firsthand, improving member relations, ensuring that there is accessibility, that young pharmacists can access the public relations officer at any point in time and convey our problems adequately. We'll be able to find long-lasting solutions to them. So one thing I would like to enjoin us is to get involved. I'm sure there are students here. Get involved. Don't even wait until you're out of school. I think I started getting myself involved in PSN-Young Pharmacists Group activities from my 3rd, 4th year in the university. I was just really curious. I was just really interested. So I believe that it's not out of place for you to also be involved in our activities as a student. I think the Constitution also says that final year students are affiliate members of PSN. If I'm wrong, anyone can correct me. So, but my point is, involvement is important. It starts from there. I don't know how many persons will be there at the conference in Port Harcourt, but even if you can't attend, please try and be involved. Try and be updated about what's happening. Try and be curious about the things happening around you. Don't just say YPG is in their own thing, doesn't concern me. Try and be involved. And I hope that come Port Harcourt, in November at the Port Harcourt conference, we'll be able to expand our frontiers. We'll be able to do more. We'll be able to elect amiable and vibrant set of young pharmacists that will steer the activities of the next secretariat. Young pharmacists, I would enjoy you to vote for a proactive person. Please share the word of proactivity anywhere you go, because that is what I'm bringing to the table. Remember, the name is Ozula Chioba Cynthia. Thank you very much, young pharmacists. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. Just some quick announcements. Like she mentioned, get involved. I remember my first PSN-YPG involvement was in 2017. I think I was in 400 level at that time. I was in Abia State for the conference. I was a student then, and even final year student, I was in Ibadan for the next conference. So it's not until you graduate before you get involved. Just show interest, and you just see that you will be called. Quick announcement. This is the beginning of our week. So we have programs tomorrow, which is an online masterclass. The masterclass starts by 4 o'clock. It's on Zoom. So at the comfort of your houses, there's a topic on management of STDs, and there's also current trends of management of dental infections. I'm sure most of us have found that challenge when people come to your place of practice, complain about their teeth infections, and some of us might not really know the treatment management of such infections. Tomorrow is an opportunity for you to learn. So please, let's see it as a learning opportunity. Let's take out time, just 2 hours, and the masterclass session is done. Then on Thursday, we are having what we call Pharmacy Professional Awareness Campaign. And this campaign was adopted by FIP, which the initiative is to make awareness of the pharmacy profession so that we have more pharmacists. Actually, Nigeria is underserved, like the statistics that was brought out. Nigeria is underserved of pharmacists. And so we are going to schools, secondary schools. There are 4 secondary schools we are going to. The Chrisland schools in Ikeja and Lekki. We are going to Mafoluku Senior Grammar School, and then a community school in Mushin. These are 4 different regions. So if you know you stay within those regions, kindly, there's a link that has been circulated around. Kindly fill in that link, show up interest, so you'll be contacted on how we are mobilizing towards those schools. We'll be talking to them about mental health and also the pharmacy profession. So please, let's take out time from our busy schedule. Within 30 minutes, we are done with PPAC. Then on Friday, we'll be having an outreach. More details on the outreach will be communicated soon. I'm sure we've not seen posters about it. We are just trying to finalize some things, but more details on the outreach will be communicated soon. Thank you all for taking our time and for also staying this long. God bless you. Safe journey to our various destinations. Thank you very much.
All right, people. So, Angela from Mega Medis is going to announce the winners of the little download challenge stuff. All right.
Thank you very much for your engagement. I would like to say that this is ongoing. It's just, sorry, can I see my winners? Thank you. This is just for this event. We still have many goodies coming up for young pharmacists, and to show you the reality of what we are doing, our top 3. All right, so transparency. We have Adebayo and Jim Tad. So the thing was, in the process of ordering, you didn't complete your ordering process. So that kind of disqualified you. I'm sorry about that. Then the second person, you were asked to download the app, then order via the app, but you downloaded via the website. So, but you are not losers. Please kindly reach out to us at the table. We have souvenirs, packages for you. So our winner, the first winner at 1:33 p.m., who did the first procurement, goes to Savant's Pharmacy. Please, are you in the house? So this is a shopping voucher of 10,000 naira at any ShopRite mall. Just walk in and enjoy yourself. You are saying enjoy the holiday. Then the second winner goes to God Alive Pharmacy at 1:39 p.m. Who's that, please? Oh, wow. I hope it's not because you're organizer. Okay. So this is a shopping voucher of 5,000 naira. So please, wait, somebody should be taking my, come, servants, come here with my money. Thank you. Somebody should please take a picture. Wait, you're second, you're not first. Come. Where's the voucher now? Yes, so this is the first winner. Thank you. Say cheese. Cheese. Thank you very much. And then God Alive Pharmacy, a shopping voucher of 5,000 naira. Thank you. And finally, my third winner. So it's real. Tisado Vivian at 2:08 p.m. Please, if you're around, can you say hi? Hey, please be around, or this is going to the next person. Wow, please give her a round of applause. So, Tisado Vivian, you get a shopping voucher at any ShopRite mall of 5,000 naira as well. Thank you very much for being innovative and taking up the challenge. Thank you very much. Hope to see you guys very soon. Thank you. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you for the gift vouchers. God bless you. All right, want to take the closing prayer. I would like to welcome Muslim pharmacists. As I said when we started, that the Christian will take the opening prayer, the Muslim will take the closing prayer. Is Akonde around? Akonde Aziz, my friend, all the way from Shalina. Where is he? Or somebody should volunteer to take the closing prayer for us. Pharmacists, before you go, come and take the closing prayer. Thank you. I can't say Akonde. He's eating somewhere or he's hiding somewhere. Please.
She like it fast slowly. Sometimes she confuse me. Me never leave her lonely. Me never leave her lonely. And I take her up when she need me. She like Tojoro.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. We thank the Almighty Allah for everybody that came around for this program. And I pray that, inshallah, by the special grace of the Almighty Allah, we shall all go back to our various destinations with no problem. And to the organizers of this program, may the Almighty Allah continue to guide and protect you all. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you from Amina for that prayers. Thank you, everybody. PSN-YPG. We see you again. We move to Port Harcourt, Garden City. Appreciation goes to the 30 wonderful interns of Yaba. You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming. Appreciation goes to all the Lutz, final year students, all the interns from Lutz, Butemeta, Coppers everywhere. Thank you all. God bless you.
Baby, don't kill my vibe for me. Shall we go make up till the morning? Oh, my ninja make up when you love the casoro, dale. If we do, I make we so free now. Cause of my money, I go give to the dollar, I'm a child. Yeah. See your love is so insane, oh. Now only you every day, more. Meet my head with a grace, oh. Baby, girl, for you, I'm mad all the time, oh. They know if you quench, I won't flame, oh. And I'm not afraid to let you know, say now you're one, and I'm loving the things you did make me do now. Go shut it. Don't treat me like a fool now. Oh, babe.